So as we left off at the end of last week, we had just fought that pair of demons in the library and ended our adventures pretty much right there in the aftermath of the battle. Selwyn and Ara, having now suffered the mutating bites from these strange demons, the same you'd fought in the church, who have now tainted everybody but Arabus so far with this flesh-warping infection. And with half of Selwyn's face... What?
I didn't get bit, did I?
You got bit by the first pair.
Yeah, both of you and
oh, yeah, back in the day. Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, you and Zerg. Arabus is the one who hasn't been warped by this at all now. But much worse than the gnarled, knotting wood and Ara's swollen giant head and the sight of Selwyn's face swelling up with huge lumps of warped, almost boiled-looking flesh.
No.
Are the
I'm a little
actual
offended.
injuries left by their attacks. You were able to put them down, but that was a fairly close call, all things considered. As library finally falls silent, bits of smoldering paper scattered throughout from Ara's magic. Fortunately, nothing enough to catch this whole library aflame. Everybody is quite injured. Selwyn and Ara very severely.
Probably hasn't been an hour since the last time I treated Lizard and Ara, huh?
I haven't been treated.
No.
No, you have not. I could definitely do Selwyn and
I can move.
Zerg, I guess. I haven't done you guys.
Zona could use some heals, yes.
I will do what I can.
So you can treat a few people, but it's gonna be a little while before you're able to tend to Lizard Man. Lizard Man's the only one that you've treated recently, right?
Lizard and Ara for
Lizard
tree wound.
and Ara. So you'd be able to treat Zerg and Selwyn immediately, but it would take you some time before you could really patch them up, and Ara's not looking fantastic.
No.
That's a little offensive.
I mean, I could give you a quick fix, but that's all I can do for the day.
Yeah, anything's better than nothing. I think some limbs are falling off.
Oh God.
All right. Yeah, you don't look very good. Okay. I'm gonna hit him with that battle medicine then.
Give me that medicine check. You want trained or expert?
Oh boy. The other question is always.
Just when you go to make a medicine check, just tell me what tier you're going for, because there's always the choice now, and you're only gonna get more options as you continue to get more proficient.
I roll it.
Yeah, I agree. Expert.
He looks like he needs it.
Oh, easy.
Pretty good.
Alrighty.
27 will certainly pass that check. It is. Let me double check. It's out of curiosity. It's DC 20. Yes, that's not terribly far off of critically succeeding, but not. So 2d8 plus 10 health is going to be restored to you. Treating both Zerg and Ara. You have ward medic, right?
This is the battle medicine for
this is
Ara.
just the battle medicine, right?
Yeah. 22, so then, my friend.
22 health restored to the small plant. Now,
that's treat wounds for Zerg and Selwyn.
Yep.
Settling down for a bit longer to patch them up. You're able to, I mean, it's ups and downs to Ara's strange leshy physiology, but a lot of the bonuses seem to be that he's very easy to repair. It's just like patching up a table, rather than trying to deal with some actual flesh and blood wounds.
You put the limb back on the tree and then you just wrap it real good. That's how botany works.
You just kind of tape him back together. I mean, that's not going to fix this swollen, gnarled head, but well,
that's just natural.
Such is life.
Let's go expert again.
Right, as you set for 10 minutes, getting your tools out and finding a clear spot here in the library, or some remnants of a chair that may be together enough to sit them on, readying to tend to Zerg and Selwyn. Lizard and Ara, what are the pair of you going to be doing? Because this is going to take some time.
I'm going to be rifling through the library looking for anything interesting.
Okay. Lizard Man?
I am going to sprint to the front of the Hermitage, pick up the shields from the shield boys at the front door, and sprint back.
So as you, let me go back and look. You dragged literally everybody outside.
Well, probably wouldn't have dragged their shields also, because those are not edible.
Well, they were strapped to their arms, so unless you would have taken the time to...
Okay, so the one that's tied up unconscious, or no, I'll just take the one that's shield is covering his head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there was
You
one of
ended up-
those.
Oh, there would be that one shield left on the floor in the front room because you did take his off to cover his head specifically.
So it'll be
So
a
that-
bit bloody, but it's not a
That
problem. I'll just
very
pick it up.
bloodied wooden shield you would now be able to wield without any issues. And you've, this is great because we actually have a picture of that shield. You can all see exactly what that shield looks like because it looks exactly like this. So you have a
the
square
one.
framed wooden shield reinforced with iron around its edges. 4 planks making up its surface and some deep gouges in it where it had been struck. I believe it's taken 4 damage from that fight because he did block 1 hit.
Okay.
Isn't that the guy whose shield I was stomping?
Well, you've fought several of these retainers geared similarly.
Okay.
I just have this art that shows you
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the lizard man comes back with one of these shields with the symbol of Gazra engraved across the outside of it. These ones not defaced like the holy symbols themselves they wear around their necks. Lizard man's joining Team Gazra team. So you run down there, right, waiting for his shield and spend that 10 minutes going there and back. Ara, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Boy.
That
25.
was a ride on that d20. With a 25, you would locate a couple things. First of all, though, this library is largely torn apart. Obviously, not every single individual book has been ripped to shreds. That would be an effort that would take an incredible amount of time to shear each and every one of them. But largely the ones that are intact are manuals, encyclopedias of various animals, treatises from neighboring nations, and all sorts of information and anthologies of natural knowledge. None of it seems particularly useful or valuable, and most of it is quite dry. However, there is a small section that appears to hold more usable information, formula books specifically, that unfortunately have largely been ripped apart. But under the heaps of loose bindings and book covers, there is one battered, mostly intact formula book with some usable pages inside. So whoever wants to do the writing, there is a formula for a lesser elixir of life, a moderate elixir of life, a moderate Sheeta's elixir, and a moderate Eagle Eye elixir in this book. And I can copy paste all of those into the chat for ease of access for you.
Yep, please do.
There you go. Additionally, as you're looking around through this library, rooting all over the place, you come back down to this separate reading room that you had hidden briefly during the fight, trying not to get, turbo murdered. And it turns out that the southern end of the wall here, almost the whole of it, is actually a door that can slide aside.
I knock on the door and then I open it.
I mean, knocking on a wall, realistically, but
Well, yeah, if it's a door that opens, I'm knocking on it.
yeah,
Even if it is a hidden door, I still knock on it.
knocking on it, you would hear, of course, no response on the other side. But then sliding aside what there is, you see it opens into a smaller chamber down below, into what looks like another one of the bedrooms, another one of the quarters. Though this one does appear to be a little different. This one still has a body left in it. While some of them bloodied and marred, a corpse, mangled, still lays stretched across this small single bed. There's a man dressed in gray robes, just like the other hermits, but with a gold sash across one shoulder down to his hip. depicting an open book across its front. And a small bedstand next to it, there is a stack of various books and a pretty imposing mural of Gazra on the wall opposite you. A massive, hulking storm cloud shaped like the upper body of a man raging down from the heavens. The couple of books on the table here look much more intricately bound than most of the ones you've found. They're generally simple. Even throughout this library, they're all fairly simple books. There's nothing extravagant or extraordinary, even particularly well made. The hermits are simple folk and keep their knowledge similarly.
I want to take a look at those books. They look neat and interesting.
Heading down to look at the two stacked on the bedside table. They appear to be two holy books, but not of a Gazran faith. The first, the Manual of City Building, and the second, the Order of Numbers, are the Bibles of the Abadaran faith.
I pocket those. So,
While you're
Hey,
in here as well, it's kind of hard not to turn some attention to the body on the bed. Around his neck, he has something different from the traditional Gazran symbols the rest of the druids bared, defaced or otherwise. He has something a little bit larger, a triangular sigil about the size of your palm, made out of a silvered metal, with an inverted triangular symbol in the center of a much darker metal, bearing some simple geometric marks. And around the outside of that inner triangle, different whorls and spirals emanating out to the tips of the whole frame. It's an odd sort of object and nothing you immediately recognize.
can I do a quick detect magic to see if there's magic in the area? I know it won't point that out specifically, but
Absolutely. And as you cast the check to see what you can find, you do get a ping of magic in here.
I carefully remove it from the dead man's neck. Carefully. And
Well,
then
he's not really protesting, so it's not terribly difficult.
Well, if he
to do,
doesn't protest,
fortunately.
and I just waddle back over to the rest of the group with it. Books in my hand, books in my arms. Necklace wrapped around the horn.
And Aro would arrive as Arabis is working to treat Selwyn and Zerg. So if you want to give me, you said you're going for expert, right?
Correct.
Want to give me your medicine check for this 10-minute treatment here?
24.
24 will do it. They will also receive 2d8 plus 10 health back. I like that the higher tiers is. Ooh, that's a good one.
25.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one felt real nice.
You're getting good. Arbis is getting real good at this. He's had a lot of practice healing everybody up. So both Zerg and Selwyn, 25 health restored. Which I believe, just really showing her aptitude at this point, that holy patches the pair of you up. In the span of 10 minutes, even after such a deadly encounter, Arabis has brought 3 of you back to tip-top shape. I mean, still visibly, like the cuts and the bandages and bruising, but you're in perfect fighting condition.
Good as new.
And Lizardman arrives with his new shield around the same time Ara comes back in the room with this stack of books and this strange icon perched atop them.
Hey guys, look what I found.
And any of you that are trained in religion, Arabis, of course, that wants to roll me a check here as you look upon what the heck Ara has brought back.
Okay. Oh, that's a fat 9.
You have no idea what he has. Fat 9 and a natural 1 from Selwyn. He's got some fancy looking books. course, you
There
guys
you go.
don't recognize the literal Bible. You frickin' animals.
Troll Bible. Hey, Arbus.
What? What do you
I
want?
hold up the ammo. Is this magic?
Are you telling me it is magic, or
Is this magic? Question mark.
let me detect aura?
And with your quick reading, you actually determined that it isn't.
It is not magical. You waste my time.
Throw it on the ground.
Well, don't be
Trash!
wasteful.
I waddle back into the room. And I start rummaging. And someone stops me, but I start rummaging.
Why is this like? Who's this? Who's this guy?
Ah, I had to guess, librarian.
Who cares? He's dead.
Super dead. But he's not like gnarled and stuff, is he? He's just.
No, he looks like he was killed relatively recently, and it looks like he was very clearly, I mean, the body's pretty mangled, but he's not mutating, like what the demonic bites do.
Can I determine how he was killed? Is it
Okay, roll me a
obvious, or
medicine. You can make a medicine check, absolutely.
I will do that.
Medicine's the new heal, baby.
I like it. Ooh, 14.
With a 14, you would be able to tell that he looks like he was pretty clearly beaten and stabbed to death. With what appears to be weapons, presumably the tridents that the other druids bear. He looks like he was killed by the other druids, not by a demon. Some of the impacts where he appears to have been struck are fantastically severe, though.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, Aura.
There's something magic in here. Can you help me find it?
Okay.
That was easy.
So the two of you together, as you root through the room for a moment, with Arabis's aura reading ability, checking
Get
through
it.
various things, trying to find whatever the source is, you would actually find it cast away under the foot of the bed, near the side of the large pool of dried blood on the floor where the man was presumably just killed, actually right here. It appears to be a pair of very bloody, loosely embroidered strips of an off-white cloth. Fairly sturdy, but still relatively soft. Each of these strips maybe about 2.5 feet long.
What is it, Aura? Do you have any idea? Magic cloth?
I hold it up. Oh, it looks like a rag. I just
They're
wrap it
pretty
around.
thin. They're only about like an inch or so wide.
A very thin rag. I wrap it around my arms. I go check it out later when we have time.
You wrap it around your arm.
Yeah, just
It's
that way I don't forget.
you could just put it in your bag.
I would forget about it.
You
there.
find the bloodied magical strip of cloth, and you're just like, cool, just wrap it around your arm so you don't forget about the bloodied magical strip of cloth.
Yes, because I have
There?
a habit of forgetting things.
There. Okie dokie.
Well,
I'm far from
guess-
questioning this party at this point.
yeah, off we go, I guess.
Yep.
Moving on out.
Well, this small quarters on the other side of the secret door also has a door that leads out to the west that, again, presumably would lead out to the same hallway as the one outside the library, which would be pretty easily visually apparent to anybody who walked out into that hall. Thus, really bringing in the question, why bother hiding that door in the first place? Which I, as the GM, also don't know. Paizo will let me in. Why? I'm not sure why there's a secret door here. That could... Neither of those rooms is hidden, but okay. I guess for some reason I legitimately can't think.
Hidden
of a
no
good reason.
longer.
Yeah, can't think of a good reason why that door's hidden, but it is. So as you head back down to the hall to continue, where are you going? Continuing down to the south?
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and array
Alright.
yourselves out in this hallway, however it is that you wish to travel. The lizard man at the front, I assume.
Yeah, I'll be
Oh.
behind the two fronts. The lizard and the other lizard, who isn't scaled.
And as you continue, I figure you are still just checking each of these small chambers as you pass, making sure that, nothing
Yeah.
is lurking within waiting to ambush you, and they all do appear to be mostly more of the same. Some with some frescoes painted across the walls clearly in the rough hands of the druids themselves, some slightly more well-appointed, some less, some near entirely barren, and some bloodied. But all of them equally empty. And as you continue, this hallway once again elbows out to the left, terminating in a single doorway. Now, what are we all doing as we're traveling? Remind me what you're looking for. That's nice.
Seeking.
Volume mixer.
Got my
That
shield
was
up.
peeping. Lizard shield raised. Arbus?
I'm peeping as well.
Peeping. How about you, Ara?
Just detecting magic. Always detecting magic.
Always casting in case you pass by anything of importance here. It is worth noting, as you pass, as you came back around, the door on Zerg's left here, as you walked up, presumably lead back to that librarian's quarters, is locked. So that one would have been difficult to get into without finding the second avenue of access. But I'm still unclear on why the druids have a secret door leading from his chamber to the library.
Quick escape.
I feel like that could just be a regular door. But anyway, regardless, as you walk here, again, Arbus and Lizard, you're starting to feel this scratchiness in your throat, this little bit of fatigue sort of welling up on you. You're clearly coming down with something, some kind of sickness pervading through you. And as the day passes and the morning moves on, it's only getting a bit more severe. It's nothing terrible yet, nothing worse than a miserable cold. But, well, it's probably nothing.
I'm gonna look colder.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, I mean, if I turn into a ghoul, I turn into a ghoul. I mean, psh, psh, psh.
I would
Alrighty.
hope that I don't turn into one. I don't. We need to finish up here so I can take a look at that. That'd be nice.
Okay, so I go through this door.
All right, opening this door up before you, you see a kitchen spread out in front of you. A fairly large kitchen and dining area that probably would have tended to the hall of the Hermitage, really, and surprisingly is still being tended to by one of the druids. Trident leaned up against the stove next to her, a fairly large, pretty well-built woman who's currently stirring something in a huge pot against the northern wall. Flitting about her, you can see several of the small flying demons from the church, seemingly helping with the cooking. One of them having to hold in two hands a small canister of some kind of spice that it's occasionally shaking down into the pot. One poking at the fire, burning in the stove to the woman's right, and the other standing on the edge of the counter, washing over some simple vegetables with a large knife in its hands. And as the door opens, the woman pays you no heed. Neither do the two demons that are actively doing something. But the one just sitting on the counter with a knife looks over, sees Lizard Man with a Gosrin shield raised in the doorway, and drops the knife, clattering to the counter, and screeches out, "Ah! Max! Intruders!" And she just looks for a moment over to the group of you, and then turns back to her pot. "Aye, who's not ready? Hook off!"
Not the reception I thought we were gonna get.
Well, I mean, if it's not
When's the
finished.
food gonna be ready exactly?
And also, what are you cooking?
Is it not trouble me trying to put this together this early in the morning with basically nobody left to help?
I mean, I'm pretty good at helping.
I'll have it ready by noon. I don't recognize you. You know.
I am new here, yeah.
Yes, I am.
And you can see she's got the same shield strapped across her back.
I
am-
wipe off the dirt or the blood a little bit on the top, Yeah, I'm new here. When's the food supposed to be? 12 o'clock, you say? Guys,
Look,
I think
you're
we
mad
should come
about
back at
missing
12.
breakfast. You can take it up with the leaders. I'll have it ready by lunch. Now get.
Guys, I think we should come back at lunch. I hear there's a good lunch here.
What's he cooking? What's he cooking?
And the little
I don't
demon
know.
on the counter kind of hops over a little closer. Max! Max, I don't think they're druids!
I am close.
Screeching and pointing, concerned.
Eh,
Obviously
we'll be ba-
irritated.
We'll be back for lunch. Not to worry. I'll close the door. Okay, so I really want her to finish cooking before we get into that room because she might be a really good cook.
You have no idea what she's cooking, Lizard.
What's
I'm
she?
very hungry. That smells good.
What if she
And
doesn't
what if
smell
that-
people?
Does it smell
A
good?
great change from the stench of death and gore and demons throughout the Hermitage. It would have smelled pretty fucking good. A subtle hint of some spices and the warm scent of slowly stewing meat kind of just wafts through that door,
So we only
fading
have to wait.
as Lizard Man closes it.
We only have to wait like 30 minutes, right? Like it's almost noon, right?
We
It's
have
about
to save.
probably 8, 9 in the morning. It's pretty
I thought
early.
it
You
was-
guys
I
kind
thought you
of
said it was going further along in the day. That's why I'm feeling sicker.
well, further up in the morning. You got up pretty early because you went to bed fairly early to try and get back with the Hermitage as soon as possible. You've only been awake for about 2 hours or so, but as you've been awake for longer, as you start to move around more, you can feel it set in.
Well, I guess we've got some time to spare. Anything you guys want to do?
I would like to find a leader of the Hermitage.
Okay, well, so I guess we should go back around the other way and then come back here later.
Is this
think
not
we-
the only path?
There's still the door outside that we're meant to go through at the end, I think, right? The one where someone spoke to you? Us?
Yes.
Oh,
It was the Stormlord.
Sure.
Okay, so if we go south of this room, do you think it'll lead us back to the kitchens then?
I don't know.
found out.
So you just kind of leisurely discuss your plans as you make your way back through the halls and around, back into the great antechamber at the front of the inner Hermitage, where the animals had animated upon the massive brass door and spoken to you.
Do you want to go knock on that door again? I mean, we've killed a bunch of stuff, so I feel like, gotten pretty good at cleaning out
I
this
don't
place.
think we've done enough yet for the door to be.
Go ask the door.
I don't.
Could ask the door. Or we could go south and see if the kitchen goes that way. Or if there's, like, more stuff to kill. Maybe we just need to kill that one panther and then we'll get to go.
Why do you want to kill the panther so bad?
Well, I don't.
Lizard?
I was saying if you think we need to clear out more stuff. We have one.
It's really just a panther left, right?
We need to save.
Well, the
Reggie.
panther and the 3 literal demons you just saw in the kitchen, I guess.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't, but well, yeah, I kind of cut out
Food
of it.
motivated. This group is.
Yeah.
Oh shit, food. Literal
Uh,
demons. Oh, but there's food. This smells really good. Okay, we'll go back to it later.
Maybe we should let demons roam
It
around.
did smell good.
I
Yeah.
was trying to express my displeasure of demons being allowed to be here.
What's wrong
Because
with
they're
demons
hungry.
cooking?
That's racist, man. They're good
Yeah.
cooks.
They
But
seem to be
they
doing a
didn't.
great job.
They didn't look like good cooks to me.
I don't.
Did you
They were
smell
working
this?
very hard.
She was the one cooking. They were helping.
Ah, good point. Kill them. Don't worry about
Yeah, we can go kill them. We'll finish up whatever she's cooking.
Or better yet,
But she won't finish
Mr.
it up.
Batsky, can you cook? Can you finish the meal, perhaps?
I
it.
can
I am
finish the meal.
excellent cook. I am excellent cook.
Well,
You
see,
think these muscles are from eating scraps? I think not.
Don't trust him at all. He is a terrible cook.
Excuse me. Have you
Yes.
you've eat-
Anyways.
you ate my borscht and you said it was good?
Okay, one time, one meal, borscht, very good. But I'll have you know, those pancakes the other day, awful.
I was working with limited supplies. What do you want from me?
You need like wheat. That's like all pancakes are made of, I think.
I'm sorry, all I had was skin and rocks. I tried, okay?
Oh, God.
Well, they turned
Don't
out.
you start, plant!
I'm not a plant.
Very good cook. Let's go back there, kill them. I show you I can cook.
Okay, let's do. I'm excited for this now.
So amidst this debate here, Aragon Rider just swinging by real fast to drop a birthday hero point to everyone and a villain point.
Oh.
$30 to raise the stakes across the board because I just turned 22 and only have a day left in my freshman year of Ringling College, the Circus College. Thanks for the years of
Thanks, buddy.
entertainment. And thank you, my friend, for the massive goddamn support. I can't turn Artemis's up. She is already at maximum.
So
I
got
can take Lizard Man off of 0. We can set Mono to 3. And Ara to 4. You guys got fat stacks right now. Loaded
love us.
I'm growing.
with hero points. I have 3 villain points as well. So we're all pretty set and ready.
Now we just
Reminder.
need to keep cooking with Zerg.
That if you go down and have to use hero points to cheat death, it costs your whole stack. Everything
no.
that you have. Just
That doesn't seem fair. All right.
keep that in mind with your hoarding here. But seriously, thank you, Aragon Rider. So the group of you move down this hallway here. Are you even opening these doors, or are you heading back around to where it ostensibly links back into the kitchens?
Well, all of the doors are bedrooms, so we might as well just open them as we go by anyways.
Well, as you open the first of the doors here, you're not entirely wrong, but this is a much larger chamber. This is not the same as the small domiciles around the north and western side of the Hermitage. This room here is a much larger chamber with a very plush canopied bed, a huge standing dark wood armoire for clothes storage, a full-length mirror on the southern side of the room, and light shed from fist-sized glowing orbs mounted in ornate two-ended sconces against the wall. No flickering torchlight here. And a folding screen in the far corner stands separating a metal bathtub from the rest of the room. This is much more well-appointed, and it looks like it has not been occupied in quite some time.
It's for the fancy people.
On the other side of the hall, you find much the same, though one that looks like somebody has at least just started using it, and someone who wasn't very particular about keeping the place well made and cleaned. The sheets of the bed are half on the floor, and dirt's been tracked all throughout the room, crusted in small dried puddles around the bathtub.
Gross.
Yeah. Weird.
So, is there any magical auras in the fancy room? I wanted to give that a quick.
Well, Ara's detecting that as he walks with his
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
detect magic, keeping that going, repeating that incantation, and nothing has shown up to him as of yet.
I'm like a submarine radar.
That's
It just pings back though. I don't
exactly
get location.
what you're doing. Ding! But as you reach into this hall and it wraps around to your right, it seems that your instincts are probably correct, and this door here most likely leads back into the far side of the dining chambers.
We could be like, oh, wrong door.
This lizard man opens it once more to see Max and 3 demons flitting about. Again,
better position.
the small demon on the counter flits up a bit and screeches, "Max, it's them again! They're not druids!" And Max, "Oh! Like Ozra!" and reaches for the trident on the shelf and just pokes it towards you. "You think bothering me from the other side makes a difference?" And just jabs it towards you. "Get!"
Well, it turns out we have a world-class chef with us. He would like to help, if that's okay. He's very, very good.
I could be more used than an imp. I know I have bigger hands, and that makes all the difference.
And she takes a step forward, reaching back for the shield on her back. The trident still pointed out to you, and just roars, "Ah! Guts!" And you see these black veins edging around her face as she gives into this rage and just starts to lose control as the demons turn towards you. is your initiative already on here? Get this out of here. What is
He
this?
was ready. He didn't even call for it yet. And he rolled.
I know. I don't know what that came from. Roll
Copious amounts of cheating.
me some initiative.
Man, I was gonna go like Aberton, Town Guard, step away from the meat stew. No, you wanted to help.
I mean,
I would help.
I was very
Yeah, you would've
nice.
helped him.
I don't know why they get so upset.
You didn't say please.
Didn't say
I
please.
see. I always forget that part.
It is the magic word.
Yes, it helps
But
a
it's
lot.
not magical.
It is to me.
It makes people do things you want them to do.
Sounds pretty evil to me.
It's a
Yes.
flavor. Alrighty, so Imp 1, Imp 2, Imp 3, and person. Oh, I lied to you. She doesn't even have a trident. She just grabs the meat cleaver off the table.
Oh
That's
god,
even
it's even worse.
terrifying.
Doesn't even have a trident. I lied to you all.
She should just be removed for cheating.
Yep, suspended it.
It's just expelled.
Alrighty. So as she rages, Selwyn
I can't
kind
even
of
see
peeping
her
around the
rage.
corner here.
I'm
Your
gonna hold
senses,
from-
you've been in many a scrap, and your senses of this is going south rapidly tingle.
I would like to hold until the lizard in front of me, well, a bit in front of me, can move out of the goddamn way.
All right, the first of these little demons, cackling madly, the one that was already quite convinced that you were not the thing that they wanted, is going to come flying out
No,
across
this keeps
the room.
coming up, but don't we go before?
Oh, it's a they didn't realize it was a three-way tie. I'm gonna be honest, it just auto sorts, and I never look at it.
Fair enough.
All right, Arvis, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, tell me if you guys are tying, because I literally just sort it and start going. I never
I
look
will
to see
do.
if there's ties.
I'll just preface that with every fight.
Boy, oh boy, I am gonna put a hand on Aura's shoulder in front of me, saying, "Stormlord is with you," and I'm just gonna raise my shield up and run back behind Zerg.
Good
Hi,
luck,
Arvis.
Lizard Man.
I'm gonna stroll forward into the room over here. No, like seriously, woman. Like I really good at cutting things, sharp claws, stuff. Really good, super useful. We could work together. Way better than this stupid imp. And I'm going to like backhand the imp that's next to her.
Next to the stove.
And next to the stove. I'm gonna back up next to the stove. Ha! Perfect. I'm gonna backhand him down onto the stove. Seems like a good introduction.
Okay.
20
Hey, 20 will hit.
for 6 damage. So I'm just gonna just bat him down into the stove a bit. And then I'm going to raise my shield.
And Selwyn, as the Lizard Man rushes into the room, your time is now.
I'll move to here and walk in and see these three demons and look dejected. And I guess it's hard not to look dejected with my face in this condition. And we'll say, declining our offer for us to help you really cut me. I'll go, but what is this? And I'll fling one of the knives with a telekinetic projectile at the demon here.
Okay.
For
This
real
imp
cut.
flies up off the table.
23.
23 will hit.
Ooh.
11 damage.
And with that knife flying up, slicing into this small demon as Lizardman smacks it down. It's not very large. Although it has some abyssal strength, it's stronger than you would assume given its size. It's not that strong. There's not a whole lot left in it. Now, this demon here, cackling, flies out above the southern table here. The ceiling of the kitchen's maybe only about 12 feet overhead, but flitting up against the ceiling, as high as it can get, pulling itself just up out of the reach of most of your weapons. As it gets there, it brings its hand together and then casts Timiat May and casts a small wave down towards Lizardman. And Lizardman, I need you to make me a will save. This is a fear effect. I believe you have something for this.
Do I?
Do you have bravery yet?
Oh yeah, I do. When you roll a success at a will save, the fear effect, you get a critical success. But yeah. That's
It
basically
doesn't.
it.
What'd you get?
I ended up getting a 13.
Well, 13 is a failure on a will save, so bravery doesn't necessarily kick in here. And as this magic grips you, you feel your mind clouded with overwhelming fear, and you are frightened too.
Okay.
Ara.
I stroll on in 5, 10, 15 to this corner. I look up at the imp flying. Like, well, I can help too. I know fire, and you can't cook without a lot of fire. And I'm just gonna sing a little produce flame at him. Producey, a little flame with a 28 to hit.
At which one? The one on the stove?
There's 29.
No, the one flying. The one
Oh, the
flying
one
up
flying in
high.
the middle.
Yeah.
29 definitely critically hits.
It's 11 damage.
Well, 22
22.
damage. Because that's going to crit. And I believe he's also on fire now.
Yes, he's now taking 1d4 persistent, or 2d4 persistent fire damage because it's second level now.
2d4 persistent fire damage. He flies out, casts a spell. You just blast it, and this little imp ignites in flame. Now a flying, screaming fireball. Zerk.
See? Stormlord.
All right. Zerg's just gonna storm into the room.
As you come in, getting your first glimpse at this, you see two imps near the fire, and this woman wielding a cleaver near the pot, and just a screaming fireball in the center of the room near the ceiling.
Am I within movement distance of where's my
5, 10. So you'd have 15 more to get into the room. 2 strides would get you up to her with 1 action remaining.
Sudden charge.
Okay, yeah. Well, I could sudden charge.
Oh, that is a sudden charge. Yep. So get you literally you strike and you'd still have 1 action remaining.
Yeah, let's do that. All right.
It's exactly sudden charge range.
I'll sudden charge up, and then does a melee strike count as like a grapple move, or does it have to be like a hit?
But the sudden charge has to be a hit because you're running
Okay.
into them full momentum to just swing.
Oh, beautiful. Zerg's favorite. Okay, it's my turn to cook. And then I'm gonna sudden charge, rush up, flurry, and attempt for it just a fist to the face.
Just punch her out, take the pot. All right, give me your attack roll.
It's his turn. I mean,
That's an 18.
She doesn't have her shield up at the moment, but 18 is gonna slam into her. And raging, your fist connects with her chest, which has got some light leather armor, and she just slides back an inch or 2 across the floor, grunting, but doesn't seem phased. It's not gonna do it. You got 1 action.
All right,
left,
I've got one action left. And I'm gonna attempt to take the knife out of their hand, the cleaver.
though. Okay.
So
you can.
Yeah.
You can absolutely disarm with an athletics check. That's just a thing you can do. It is going to be at a -5 because that is the second attack of the turn.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it anyway. 18.
18.
Save again.
It
No,
is
it's-
versus their reflex DC. So as you grab at her wrist, it's not enough to get the knife entirely away from her, but it's definitely enough to get in and to interfere with her grasp. So for a moment, she loses a bit of grip on the cleaver, which would give you a bonus to continue attempting to disarm her for anyone else to step in. But her turn's coming up immediately, so she can regrip it. But that does actually do something. It generally takes a couple of people to wrestle a weapon away from someone in 2nd edition, because you succeeding just gives the next person a bonus, and someone's got to critically succeed to wholly disarm them. So, the demon over the pot is going to go ahead and just drop the little spoon that he has, and he's just going to fly out into the room here, taking the space up between the tables next to the pair of you, before transforming into a wolf and growing massively in size. And seeing you up at the front, Zerg, he is going to bite towards you. My little card doesn't have the attack roll for his transformed ones. Let me get this real quick. Alrighty, and as he bites towards you, landing, warping in the blink of an eye, he's only gonna get an 11 to bring his jaws to you.
And while I'm trying to wrestle this blade from Pot Lady, I just stick out a little foot to be like, yeah.
And
Bad
again,
dog.
just like the ones in the church, he doesn't seem to be any stronger given his new size, really. And in fact, it almost seems harder for him to control it. And it's surprisingly easy for you to just keep him away with your foot.
A little foot back, like, yeah. Bad
The
puppy.
woman, however, is gonna roar out as her eyes start to yellow, and this darkness pulses up through bulging veins on the side of her face. It's my stew! You have none of it! And swings the cleaver down towards you. And
It's my stew.
this is gonna come down for a 21.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
As she strikes you with the cleaver for 10 damage.
Oof.
She is then just going to swing it again, putting her whole weight into massive sweeping swings. The second strike coming out with a 14.
Gotta dodge out of the way of that one. I ain't taking two.
And as you dip back, she takes the opportunity to put her shield up broadways between her and you as she recovers from that strike. The last of the demons, the one that just got a knife thrown into him and a lizard hand, stops fluttering there, focusing for a brief moment, closing his eyes and balling his fists as he flaps back. And as you see him concentrate, dark energy swirls around him, stitching close the worst of his wounds, again
Is that
in a near
something I
instant.
can punish or no?
Can you... It just has concentrate. I don't think you
okay.
can punish concentrate. Yeah, it has no verbal or somatic components. He just focuses
Okay.
for a second. Before he does not have a ton of space right here. So he is going to attempt to flap out behind you, which is going to trigger because he moves.
Okay. So then I will slash out with a natural one.
He's
Fairly
very
poorly,
scared.
I would say.
Very frightened. Before he as well is going to transform, taking the form of a much larger bat, still flapping in the air behind you. Arbus.
Okay. I am gonna creep around the corner here to see what's going on. Oh boy. This guy, is he, you said he's the one
He
that
is
turns into...
screaming on fire and just flailing near the ceiling.
Ah, okay. Hard to tell what's... Okay, so come around the corner, see what's going on here. I'm gonna throw out an electric arc at this guy here. And if it, I guess if it hits, jump to this guy there.
Right, searching
I don't
between the two largest
Yeah,
of the animals. It
yeah,
jumps
the two
regardless
largest.
of whether they succeed or not. It doesn't change anything.
That's right, I don't think it's an attack anyway, I think it's just...
Alrighty,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
the
reflex
demonic wolf tinted the same deep green as the original creature
Oh boy.
is going to
Max level roll.
have a 23 for his reflex save, and the bat a 20. They're both going to succeed. They're both going to take half 6 damage to the wolf and the bat as this arcs between them. They are very quick, these small demons, even in their transformed states. Lizard Man.
Okay. I am now super frightened.
You know, -2 to all checks and DCs.
I'm gonna scramble up onto this table here. Being scrambling and whatnot. And then I'm going to just like lash out fairly wildly at the large bat next to me.
Alrighty.
Fairly well, I would say.
Lizard Man performs the best in a state of sheer terror. That looks like a natural 20 to me.
That is, in fact, a natural 20. So yeah, I just happened to hit a good part there and do 14 damage.
And he'll absolutely, as he transforms into a bat, jump up, strike him down to the ground. He just smashes dead onto the floor, not even fully transformed, his body rippling back into the small demon.
Oh, that survival instinct.
Yeah,
And-
you know, animal instincts over here. And then
As the one in the church, as he lands dead, his body seems to slip and shimmer and almost slide away, wholly out of this realm.
But then I'm gonna gain some confidence back, you know? Got some confidence here. I am going to... I don't know if that's a thing, and I can't really leap and like try and catch something that's 2 actions.
You have
So-
1 action left.
Yeah. I'm going to climb. This one up here is like very high up against the ceiling, right?
Yes, you'd have to jump to strike it. Or
Could I climb and then also move over? So I'd be just like slithering on the roof.
climb up and then across the ceiling?
Yeah.
It'd be really hard to climb across the ceiling. But
okay. That's
I mean,
probably
you can give me
a
that.
bad idea.
It's not. You can try, but that's climbing across a horizontal ceiling
Defying
of
gravity.
I'm
a
just gonna
building
try.
is quite difficult.
I'm just gonna try and leap further away from this thing that I'm not like. This thing's really creepy. I don't like it at all. I'm gonna try and leap over here.
Okay, and you have your swift leap, right? So you can do as a single action.
Yep.
And with the height of the table, you would be able to jump over there fairly easily. Because we learned you just jump 3 feet vertically with no roll, and it's DC 30 to jump any higher than that, and 3 feet would let you clear this lady from the top of the table. So you just leap over here, towards the pot, away from the demons. At the end of your turn, frightened condition is reduced by 1. Soen.
Yep. Well, I will scramble across these chairs here, make it around to here. And what a coincidence, it would appear that I am on the opposite side of my good friend
Very
Sirk.
interesting situation. Some would
Yeah.
call that a flanking position, perhaps.
Someone might call that a flanking position, and I'll rip out Clower as I'm running across, and stab him in the back with a 20 on the roll
20 will definitely connect.
for 9 damage.
Alrighty.
And slicing across the back, I'll try to follow it up and, stab it down after doing a little upward slice. For a 7, I don't think that hits. Very tough hide.
That's an 8 because your weapon's agile, but still definitely no. You're not going to be able to get that follow up as the wolf is reeling from being struck from all directions and this flaming, screaming fireball next to you. It's kind of distracting. Speaking of, it's very distracting. He's incredibly on fire, and in a panic. There's no way he can concentrate right now. There's no way he's taking concentrate action. In a panic, he is going to fly all the way down, still on fire, directly towards Ara, and just throw himself at you. Tooth and claw, not even transforming. He comes screaming down towards you. Claw swooping for a 28.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
that's a crit.
He's mad. He's on fire and he's mad.
I don't know what to deserve this.
I mean, either.
I'm cooking.
All right, so he is very small. And as his claw strikes you, it's going to deal 6 damage. You got a giant head now. It's an incredibly easy target. He's also very on fire. And you feel the heat of that flames as he swings towards you. It's not enough to burn you, just enough to be unpleasant and warm. But what does almost sear is a racking pain that shoots through you as his claw scratches across you, dealing an additional 2 damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to need you to make me a fortitude save.
I refuse.
Power play.
Wow. Tell him.
21.
As you feel this burning pain rack through you, fortunately, you're okay for now. But as he comes in, he's just wildly flailing. The first claw coming down, and now as he almost slams into you bodily, the second claw sweeping wildly in from the side for a 12.
That's gonna be a miss, buckaroo. And as
then-
he does it.
Do you want to roll me 2d4?
2d4? Boop, boop, boop.
And then you can tell me your thing.
5.
All right. And then you go ahead and proceed with your thing as he burns to death.
Well, as the first hit hits me, it hurts. I duck and I look at him, and I wave my hands and make the fires around him even more intense, as he just burns. Like, please don't touch me. It's been a rough day.
He comes in. His momentum almost continues as you duck, and he just smashes into the corner behind you, before his whole body and all the flames enveloping him slip away off of this plane as he dies.
Go away forever.
All right, now it's your turn.
Go away and never come back. I'm going to. Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to produce flame again. Going off of, I'm going on a hot streak here. Against the wolf. I
See?
say as
See?
I roll 11.
11 is definitely not gonna hit though.
But then I am going to borrow some of the flame from a nearby torch and elemental toss at him as well. And a minus
More fire.
5. Or fire. Nah.
He's flicking along. Someone, as the flaming imp flies away from you, the brief moment as the temperature around the area gets more bearable, and then a huge pile of fire just fountains in from the corner of the room as Ara throws everything wildly, generally that way. Not very accurately.
Must not like bats. He's all rattled now.
I'm not feeling very hot.
Oh.
And Ara dies in the corner.
Kill him.
Zerg.
Yes. So, Trident Lady's next to me still,
There's a
in front of me
cleaver lady.
still.
Yes.
This fucking thing. I'd like to attempt a grapple to the point where I could get the back of their head sort of just grabbed.
Okay.
Back of the neck, rather. That's the grapple I'd like to attempt here.
Give me some athletics.
24.
24 will definitely succeed. So, she's pretty bulky. And she's got her hair, not super long, but down a little past her shoulders, loose and kind of wild, making it fairly easy to reach around and get at least a grip.
Grip is good. Grip is very good. And with the back of their head gripped,
Oh boy.
any of y'all seen Jason X?
I have. I think I know where you're going.
Your face is looking very raw. It needs to be cooked.
Yep.
And I would like to attempt to smash their face into the boiling pot of stew.
He's so mad.
not
She didn't let him
not
do
the
it.
stew. Oh God.
Skin
All right.
salty, good for the stew.
No.
Good cook.
I'm gonna need a second athletics check. -5 for being your second act this turn. You already got her held, but
18.
18? You push, you pull, and you move her a bit. But as you start to push, she pushes back against you with the shield, and you guys kind of stalemate here. Almost. but not quite strong enough though. She does not want her face to go in the pot, and she is also raging.
Yeah. What a sight that is. Scream. Just grab her by the hair.
Just with us both in this lock. Trust me, you'll be delicious. And we'll just hold there. I'll just attempt to hold the grapple as long as I can with the rest
All
of
right.
my turn.
So this wolf, as Selwyn backs up, well, demon in wolf form, hops around to the side of Zerg to get a little bit of a better advantage. And as you're focused on your wrestling match here, and this demon protects itself, and with some almost seeming degree of pack instincts from an actual wolf circles around behind you, you are going to be flat-footed to its attacks with a -2 to your AC. And he is going to attempt to bite you for... kind of want to hero point that.
You don't have hero points. You have villain
I'm
points.
going to do it, because I have a hero point from Wolf 13 Red, so it seems really appropriate that I use it on this wolf attack here. And with a 19...
Biting me?
biting you, you're flat-footed, so you have a -2.
I can't be flat-footed because I have a thing for that.
Oh.
You
Oh,
a
yeah, they
thing
even
for
bubbled.
that.
Deny advantage.
Deny advantage. I can't be flat-footed from flanking creatures.
Oh.
Or am I flat-footed because I'm
Well,
grabbed?
if
Grabbing.
you're not grabbed, she's grabbed. If you can't be flat-footed from flanking creatures, you
Then
are
stop trying to bite me! Get
you
off!
are not flat-footed. And that is still going to fail.
Little foot at the back. Get off! Trying to
And
make
it's gonna try one more time as you kick back at it, just trying to get a grip on your leg with a 10
Not going to happen, puppy.
before it pulls back, growling a bit, and you see it steady itself and focus up once more, summoning out that abyssal energy to heal it. The woman grabbed, not happy, and is just going to let out an absolutely wild swing with her cleaver, coming in from the side as she can't get really back away from you, bringing it across your body, slicing at you for a 23.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And this is going to strike you for 12 damage. As she tries to twist away from your grip, she continues this slice, bringing it all the way around back towards Lizard Man behind her, sweeping this weapon and carrying that momentum.
Oh boy.
And you're frightened, which does apply to your AC as well, so your AC is 1 lower.
Okay. It's the same hit? Same die?
Sweep it back for a 20.
That would hit.
And she will connect with you for 16 damage with the momentum she's built up in this swing as she pivots around.
Okie dokie.
And then just roar out, "Get off of me, you giant green oaf!" And pull her shield back around to try and cover herself against the both of you. Arabis.
Okay. 2, 3. Actually, I might stay here for now. Thinking. I'm gonna throw another electric arc into the room. I'm gonna aim for the wolf and try to bounce it off of him into her while she's dealing with Zerg and his stuff.
The wolf, concentrating but still quick on his feet. The 22 on the reflex save.
Damn.
Whereas the woman, certainly a bit slower, only a 10. Oh, she almost critically. This grapple doesn't affect her reflex save, does it? Oh, let me check real quick. I'm almost positive it does not. It does not. It is 2 armor class. Dang it. So
Okay.
no critical failure, but she will fail. You'll zap her for 10. The first actual hit that has managed to get through to her as this lightning courses across her. And 5 to the demon wolf.
And we'll raise my shield, just peeking beyond it.
It's in the hallway. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Lightning bolt.
I'm helping.
Lizard man.
Zig, I told you about putting body parts in the stews. This is no. And I'm gonna try and grab it. Grab her back, but mostly just kind of claws dig in a bit.
Flailing a bit, trying to grab, but you're very sharp.
Yeah, 20.
You are still frightened 1, so it's -1.
19.
At the 19, with your shield up, your claws are just going to be stymied by the iron frame of this, unable to get around the shield.
Okay, I will try that again. So -4, well, -5, so 21.
But with a 21, though, you will get through. The shield still holding off the worst of it, as she is going to block the attack.
Okey-dokey.
But both, how much damage?
10 damage.
So her and the shield are both still going to take 7.
And then I am going to,
Which will
just-
break it, actually. You claw her through the wooden shield. You break several of the planks out, leaving her with a frame just barely held in place.
and then I will also try and grapple her. At a
-10.
-8. Oh, it's a
an athletics check.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, then I'll raise my.
Yeah, there's no agile on athletics maneuvers.
Right.
All right, and swallowing the last of your fear. Selwyn.
So she's grappled. That makes her flat-footed to me, right?
It sure does, little rogue. It sure does.
She was pretty good. I'll step up here, and when every
Also, her
fight,
shield is now broken, so.
yeah, it makes it really easy. It's so good.
Also,
What a good
Spectrum
hero.
is pooping super hard.
Oh, nice.
Everything's coming up Millhouse for the team.
Yep. Every position's a flank when you have a great teammate like Zerg. Whereas 16.
Okay, so 16 will actually do it. Raising with the shield
Oh,
broken,
yes.
flat-foot. Raging, shield broken, flat-footed. That will actually hit.
Good enough. I'll take it.
Alrighty. How
No,
much?
it's just 7 damage.
7 damage.
But that was merely the decoy strike. And now, for my true stab. And I now realize my sneak attack damage has been wrong all this time. That's really
Yeah.
saddening.
You have
Whoops.
2d6 now. Oh, so
Wait.
you,
No, I don't. It's more the fact that well, hold up. Yeah, it's more the fact that I'm rolling on D4s on this sneak attack, which
Oof.
I'll fix after. Actually, I
Okay.
can fix it right now. It's
so
really
you got
quick.
2 actions, 1 action left, rather.
Yep, I'll stab it again. Just let me. Where the hell is? Oh, there it is. Size D4, D6. Okay. Real fast.
Alright,
Or
extra stabby.
21
21 definitely still gonna connect.
for 11 damage.
And with 11 damage, as Lizardman punches through her shield, tearing the boards out, and Zerg's got a hold of her, Selwyn is going to be able to do enough damage to kill this druid cook, leaving just the demon wolf in the chamber.
Looks like it was your goose that's been cooked.
High five.
Imaginary high five.
Ara.
Going off that imaginary high five, I'm gonna just sling a little bit of fire, some more fire.
The same thing we do every day, Pinky.
Yeah. I'm a one-trick pony at this point. Yeah, that's to be expected with a 13.
There's
to
a
hit.
lot of fire flying throughout this room, but you're not convinced Ara's aiming it at anything so much as just kind of throwing it towards the fight.
Just throw
He
it.
gets very excited.
Very excited. And then I'm going to walk over here and ask Arvis if she is okay, because I have not seen her this entire fight.
I'm fine. Everything seems to be handled well.
Well done.
Well, Lizard and Zerg are taking some pretty big hits from this cleaver. They're both pretty well injured. Lizard meant very much so.
That's nothing new.
Zerg.
That is true.
Zerg.
Yes, the puppy. Forgot about the puppy. Okay, I've had enough of this. Time to stop playing now. I'm just gonna go for just a boot to the face.
All right.
The
The wolf will taste tile this day.
22.
22, definitely gonna connect.
Big old reel back boot to the fucking head. No, there's nothing else to it. It's a kick to the head with a 6.
What happens to it, saying?
Oh no.
So, being annoyed by this puppy that's been annoying me this entire... I'm just trying to get the cleaver. Okay, time to stop playing now. Turn around, sit down, reel back, big old kick to the head, and the neck just...
Just, and
and
it
it
just
falls.
snaps, slumps down to the ground, and seems to, like the rest before it, just sink down into the floor. Presumably back to whatever hell it came from. The room is left only with the gentle bubbling of the still boiling cauldron and the crackling of the fire in the stove.
Okay, who's hungry?
I'm hungry. Not. I told you
Massive
this is
cleaver
exactly
wound
why.
across the side of his shoulder. It's time to eat!
Yes, very hungry. Nothing gets an appetite going like this. You ready to eat?
Yeah, I'm gonna like kick away the body from the stove and get out of
I'm
the way.
really glad you didn't succeed in pushing her head into that steel.
Yeah, what were we trying to do? What the heck, man? We
Face
talked
skin
about,
is very delicious.
It really
we
isn't.
talked about this. This is
When
about
have you eaten
pancakes.
face skin?
The
You
pancakes
liked
were
my
terrible.
borscht. You liked my borscht. That's all I said.
Did that? I mean,
Humans.
but that's okay because anything goes into sausage. So, how good does this meal look?
What's bubbling in there appears to be a concoction largely of broth and enormous chunks of meat at the moment. Entire hocks and bones floating around, more as flavoring than something you could actually ladle out into a bowl and eat. The
That looks
vegetables
perfect.
over
We
on the
should
side
ladle
have not
that out
been
and eat.
really chopped or added yet. The whole
who cares
thing,
about the
kind of
vegetables anyways?
thick, chunky brown sort of color, but it smells fantastic. It's just a big meaty stew right now.
I'm gonna try and like
Very
pincer out.
slowly bubbling. The massive size of this cauldron is still warming.
Is there gonna continue cooking?
Yes, yes, he is.
I can help.
Do you use some medical attention while they're cooking?
Yeah, I could. I mean,
Who can you treat?
I don't know. Who can
has it been an
retreat?
hour yet since?
It's probably gonna take an hour to cook.
It's been about 10 minutes, 15
Well,
minutes.
I did Zerg and Selwyn a little bit ago,
And
but I did Lizard way back.
Lizard
when.
and Aura before. You've treated everyone recently. You'd have to rest for some time here before you were able to tend
Well,
to
I
their
can.
wounds
I
again.
can treat myself.
You can treat yourself.
We
We
also
are.
had to wait for this to cook, so we've got a bit.
Okay.
Zerg would like to grab the cleaver and
Oh,
just
God.
kind of like belt the cleaver just to keep that nearby.
Okay.
You use that thing.
And maybe loot the cleaver lady. So if there's
I mean, the
any
cleaver
spices
lady,
or-
she doesn't have any on her. There was a tin of some kind of spice, a can one of the demons was holding over the pot that he dropped to the floor behind it that now is just being licked by the flames underneath this cauldron. And there are several more on the table next to it. This area does have a decent amount of things to prepare. Almost all of it seeming to be ground herbs that you could grow or find in the wild, with the exception of some very basic salt, of course. But the room itself, I mean, there are certainly worse places to rest here. This long dining hall has got 4 tables spread across the southern end, all about 12 feet long, 4 or 5 feet across, with enough seating for easily 24 people to eat together in here. It's meant to serve the whole Hermitage, and there's a lot of room in this cafeteria. Also a lot of nice chairs. Simple, plainly carved, but nice enough.
Instead
There's
of sitting
notably
in a
one
chair, I sit
other
at the
door
table.
in the northeastern side of the room that leads to an area that you have not been into quite yet.
Well, I'm gonna continue prepping vegetables. Everyone needs good herbs and vegetables. And I'm gonna look at Zerg, waiting for Zerg's instruction.
Yes, get the vegetables in there. This is good. The people need to eat vegetables. I try to just have a lot of meats, but
There's not a lot of variety here, as this area is fairly far removed from Breach Hill and doesn't get to supply anywhere other than Varn's shop. So it's largely just potatoes, corn, onions, and the odd carrot.
Ah, potatoes, meat of the vegetable world.
Surprised the druids don't have like their own gardens. And
I have
whatnot.
some berries in my pouch we could put in if you want. I don't know.
berries
which
in
ones.
stew. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it.
I haven't.
Okay,
tasted
here's
stew
what we
before.
do. Plant, you get vegetables. Arabis, you make dessert with your berries. I'm going to just finish this off, and I'm going to grab one of just every spice that I can see and just dump. Just one of everything.
Why don't you make me a craft check?
Oh, okay.
I don't care if you're trained or not. It's almost better if you aren't, honestly.
Oh
12.
jeez.
No, that's it. No, session reroll says otherwise. Session reroll says.
Oh, cool.
No, you got greedy. You got greedy.
Session reroll says 2, as I'm dumping spices into
I
this
mean,
stew.
it seems appropriate for just dumping everything you can find on the counter into the stew pots. Well, Zerg loads this up with, well, a little everything, seeming to pay no regard to labeling or anything. And as he picks up one of the tins and dumps it into the pot, the lid comes off entirely, with an entire wave of a can, about half a Pringles can of salt, cascading into the cauldron.
Yes,
I
very
just-
salty, very good, yes.
I just look at him. I stare at him. You're not a very good cook.
Don't you start if they're not finished.
I mean,
I think
I won't
it's
be
already
eating
finished.
it, but I know they won't like it. That's too much
You know
salt.
that- Huh? No, I'm offended. I feel like he could.
I waited while someone just put it in Lizard's face. Go ahead, taste it for me.
Seems fine to me.
Taste it.
Munch.
But as you
Fine to me.
as you take a bite of this, it very much does not seem fine to you. It is.
It seems fine to me. Perfect. Perfect. Zig. Really outdone yourself this time.
26.
I told you, no one listens to Zerg when he
Arvid.
says he do things other than break things.
No, really good. Without all the extra body parts, top notch.
Well, I was going to add some leg. I was going to cut off the leg of the ex-cook, but if you say I don't need it,
You were going
Yeah, I
to
don't
put
think
a
it's
leg
needed.
in the stew?
it's good. It's fiber and protein.
You do
It's
not
good.
eat people, Zerg.
I mean, I
It's
could eat people.
fine.
I think we're down a dark path here that we're not. I don't think we can return from.
No,
Saltman.
no. See,
Oh.
me and Zig are not like fully humans, so it wouldn't be cannibalism.
It's only
Zerg
half
is-
cannibalism.
No, yeah, because like
don't-
it's only
Hey.
if you eat your own species, right?
No.
I won't add the leg. It's okay, fine, whatever. It's all right. It's ready. If you want to eat something, thank you, Zerg. You're welcome. Yes.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
might want to go
Zig.
get a lot of water.
Bomb.com.
Yes.
A lot of water.
A lot of art and history and beauty was lost when the World Wound first opened. You've done the same thing to this stew, the equivalent of the World Wound.
I wanna.
You're welcome.
Anyone who
I'm gonna
takes
get
even a
ball.
passing taste of this, it's almost difficult to swallow. It is like fisting a spoonful of half cinnamon, half salt directly into your mouth. Face puckers.
Fortitude
It's difficult
26.
to even keep it
Can't
in
even
your
tell.
mouth, much less swallow it. Iruxi apparently have no sense of taste, and
I
Lizard
have
Man
no
is
sense
fine.
of taste.
They just eat
Except
things.
for the rock pancakes. The rock pancakes were not cool.
Well, that was more of a
Okay, I
texture
admit.
problem.
Yes, the rock pancakes was not so good. Next time I get fresh ingredients, okay? I try, whatever.
Wait, you couldn't get fresh rocks?
No, they were very
Rocks?
fresh. I couldn't get good things for pancakes like legs, whatever
What?
else goes into pancakes.
What's with doing the legs? You would put the leg in pancake now?
Well, they've got a lot of meat,
Yes.
obviously.
Meat
whisper to,
pancakes.
I whispered to Howard, it's
You've
because
never had
you
my
always-
meat pancakes? They're very good.
It's because
Better
it
when they
always
have
skips
meat
like that.
and less rocks. So really good, I would say.
Zerg's gonna take a little bowl, sidle over, and have some, and have a little rest on a table. Like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're all welcome. Yes, okay, have a good night. Yes. Have a
Sitting
little
here
sleep with them.
with the dead, jolted, murdered body of the cook still just laying on the floor in front of the table. Everyone takes a seat around one of the tiny benches.
I'm sitting on the table.
I'm
Arva's
sitting on the counter.
table, tending to herself. Are on the table.
I'm on the counter
Sitting
staring at the
down
stew.
for a nice rest. As his corpse just festers 10 feet away from you.
It doesn't
Arvis-
fester that fast. Rigor Mortis hasn't even
it's
set
just
in.
oozing. And the good news is the smell of the blood and the murder is largely overwhelmed by the smell of just boiling salt and meat. Which, to be fair, doesn't really smell horrible. It just tastes horrible. It smells all right. But as you're treating yourself here, Arbus, as Zerg finishes up this stew,
Yeah.
give me your medicine check, whatever DC you're going for.
I'm going with the Reggie one.
And you still fail.
That's a session reroll.
You know,
Ding.
plant physiology, not people physiology.
Yeah,
Wait, no,
it's
it's-
The
easier
smell
to-
of the salt threw me off. I need
It's way easier to
ugh.
glue our back together.
Okay.
Much better. And that's a critical success, so you'll heal for 4d8.
Oh, baby.
And as you're doing all this, Ara, searching for something he can eat, heads over to this northeastern door in the room and opens it. And finds inside a much larger pantry full of all sorts of bins, racks for dry goods, more spices and salts. Supplies of fresh goods seem to be somewhat low in here, but low on the order of an entire hermitage. There's plenty in here to feed simple rations to a few dozen men for a couple of weeks. And there's a wide array of bread, meats, jerkies, fruits, all kinds of edibles back here, as well as you would immediately find a small cabinet stashed with assorted treats, pastries, and chocolates.
Well, great news is I don't eat, so I take the pastries out and bring them over to someone and say, "I got this for you."
And he has a small little sack of what appear to be round little tarts of bread dusted with powdered sugar.
What are those?
Well, I'm guessing sweets. Really don't know what a sweet is, but
Do they have leg in them?
no.
I hope not.
Actually, I know how sweets are made. And I hand Arbus one.
Hey! You can't just eat sweets. You have to have some of the beef first, and then
Lizard, shut up.
Then you can have the dessert. So I'll take that sweet and then just munch it.
No.
Lizard is right. If you can't eat your
Mine.
meat, you can't have
This
any
is-
pudding.
This is why you're so small, is because you don't eat enough meat.
They're
So
both smaller than me, and you're going to take my paste.
does the plant eat meat? Because that clearly means that's
Well.
why he's so small.
Technically. But
I eat meat. I'm still pretty small.
It's not salty enough. Is problem. You can add more.
Yeah, we can add more. I think there's another problem in the
Out of
story.
sugar all over my face.
And each as you bite into them is filled with what appears to be a thick, chunky strawberry jam in the center. They are not hard, but they have enough form that you have to bite through them, almost kind of like a donut in consistency. And they're quite delicious.
This is amazing.
I imagine the Eye of Abednego has less salt than this.
so, what's the plan here?
I don't know. I
Anyone?
feel like we've killed literally everything on the planet. So
Zerg
Wow.
needs a little sleepy after having such a delicious meal. I'm going to go and have a little sleepy. Is this okay?
yeah, sounds fine to
You
me.
don't have to force yourself. We know it tastes like shit.
be
Yes,
fair,
yes. Next time
Salmon-
you cook.
He
Sure.
didn't it wasn't his. He was trying to fill in and finish. Maybe her.
He said he was an
shit.
excellent cook, and then he wasn't. He merely wrong.
Okay, I just go back to breaking things. Okay, this is fine. I don't try anymore.
You already
Every
broke
time
my
I
heart.
try, yes.
I also broke that
Whatever.
mill.
So what are the group of you doing as you rest here? If you wait some time and let Arabis tend to you, she would be able to touch up Lizard Man and Zerg, but it'd probably take a little more than a half hour for her to really be able to tend to you properly. You can't really just putting bandages on bandages only works so far, and that cleaver cut pretty deeply. The woman swinging it around was fairly strong.
I mean, we ain't got any other place to go, right?
We could just hang out and
Hang out,
let me
eat
work.
tarts.
Let me have more pastries, and I can fix people.
It's only really disconcerting if you see your own bones for too long. After a while, you should probably get them like put back in your body.
Excellent health advice.
Solid health advice.
Yep, it's in the medical book.
So as you're waiting here for some time, you do have a couple of magical items you've acquired in here that haven't been identified yet. The strange, almost ribbons of long cloth, and the
Stable.
coyote fur cloak that you had found in the crypts below.
Yeah, I
While
don't know.
Arabis is working to tend to Lizardmen and Zerg, Ara, you could certainly attempt to identify those.
I don't actually know who has the coyote cloak because I didn't pick it up. So someone has to offer that to me, but I will do the cloth strips.
And what is your nature again? I
It
remember
is. I will too. It's a 7.
someday. 7 to attempt to identify these wraps. And wraps they are. These two strips are actually closer akin to like boxing tape than anything else. These are meant to be wrapped around your knuckles, and the magic imbued within them is something much akin to a lesser potency rune. They're also capable of holding runes in the same way as a weapon. These will essentially give you +1 hands.
So, with that knowledge, I call Zerg over.
What? I want to sleep. I'm full of delicious food. Yes.
No, come here.
Yes.
Zerg
yes,
is waving
yes,
vigorously.
Yes. All right. Yes.
And as he approaches, I
Very
have little
close.
makeshift glasses on my face now, like made out of little tree twigs. Like, I've identified what these are. Hold out your hand.
Glasses.
And I wrap them on his hands. Now, with the magic imbued in these, your punches will be better.
Can they get better?
Yes. Everything can get better. A tree can get bigger. Your punches can get better.
I like this. All right.
Correct.
So with those on Zerg, you will get a +1 item bonus to all of your attack rolls. It does not have to be punches. It is all unarmed strikes, as the magic, while it's imbued within hand wraps, applies to basically everything.
Sweet.
Pretty cool.
Thank
right?
you very much, Plant. I like this. This is very nice. Very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
Yes, I thought of you immediately. Adjust the glasses.
I like these glasses. I want a pair like for myself.
And
Oh,
as
extra
some,
pair.
as some time passes, as Arabis is working to treat Lizard Man and then Zerg, once Ara's done with him. Again, it's difficult and time-consuming to patch up these kind of wounds. While the cleaver leaves fairly neat wounds, they are large and they are deep. You going for trained or expert on these two? Lizard Man, for the record, looks very wounded. I mean, you can see each other's health bars for your general
If we're
reference.
spending time, I'm thinking it's probably better to take the safe one and just sort of.
Expert no balls.
Wow, calling me out. Well, guess what? Expert, we're doing it.
Expert or no balls?
Go big or go home.
Oh!
See you
No!
in a minute.
Wait,
One of those.
You have a
Wait.
talisman for this, as well
I
as like
have a
94 hero points.
I was
So
supposed to say, and like 100 hero points.
I'm gonna use the talisman. What does it do? It's a one-off.
So as you go to treat Lizard Man, his wounds massive and gaping, you don't notice the mistake you've made until it's too late. Trying to allow some of the blood to flow back through so you can let it clot properly and not interfering with the rest of his wounds. You have opened Lizard Man physiology, an artery underneath. Almost certain he is going to die. You will the magic and the talisman hanging from your breastplate. And as it activates, the tears streaming down the angel's cheeks, for a moment animating. And you can see the wetness run down to the feet of the talisman and drip onto the floor. It steadies your hands and slows the flow of Lizard Man's blood. You still are unable to treat them, but you do not critically fail. And as this happens, the white alabaster of the token itself turns to dull gray stone. Its magic expended. You would need to wait another hour to kind of keep working cautiously, carefully, to make sure you can patch him up well.
You're injured very bad, Lizard. Might need some more time here. I might have almost just killed you, but I don't want you to worry.
That seems a bit dramatic, I would
It-
say.
Well, it's my
Yeah,
fault.
don't worry about it. I'll just take a nap. It's only like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure we can take a nap.
It's probably like 10:30 or so at this point.
We have jumped from 9 to 10:30, so
Well, yeah, you had to wait here for 40 minutes for this. This has been 40 minutes of our mistreating you.
yes, it's now 10:30. So I will sleep for the next hour. Try again.
Okay. Sorry.
The Lizard Man passes out on the table. He's just going to sleep right here.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why
Fair
not?
enough. Why not? Solid
Some point you
question.
probably even treat the fucking plant.
Yeah.
Lizard Man passed on the table here. Zerg perhaps getting the food coma he so wished for. Arabis getting to work on them without them protesting as they are now unconscious. Slowly, cautiously trying to spend some time and make sure you do this right. And Selwyn, Nara, what are you doing as Lizard and Zerg pass out on the table here?
Out of boredom, I'm going to attempt to make something in the pot. Or not in the pot it's used, but make something.
Lamenting the ruined state of that stew.
Yeah.
I'll try to spice it correctly so as to remove some of the salt's taste, which is possible, by the way.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe a crafting check.
Yep.
Let's see what Selwyn knows about this.
It's just a wait. Maybe is it just 20? I'm pretty sure.
If you click on your sheet, it'll tell you.
Well, look, I'm clicking on my sheet. All right. It is
It'll-
a flat D20.
It'll let you know.
Bam, 19.
Solid. You would absolutely know. I mean, cooking and food is one of the few things that you probably have some work on. And as the two swollen, bulbous heads come together to try and fix this food, you'd be well aware that you've got access to a bunch of potatoes here. Potatoes do a pretty good job of absorbing the hell out of salt. So you could put more potatoes than possibly is entirely necessary, just largely whole, into this cauldron. Scoop them out later using them as natural little sponges to at least sort of somewhat recover from
Oh yeah, osmosis, huh?
Zerg's ruination. They're very absorbent little things.
Potatoes, the meat of the vegetable world.
I don't think that's how it works, but sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
And as you two are working on that, trying to improve it, getting some decent food, Arabis at the table, still doing her best to try to help Lizard Man, who, while he seems unbothered, seems to be really severely injured, so you're sure he's hurting. You go in for the trained or the expert? Man with 6 hero points who won't spend any of them.
Expert.
Alright, nope.
Hero point.
Nice, finally.
I still don't even have to move your counter because it's still 4+. You went from 6 to 5.
I wish
You got an hour to put your best work into this. Do better.
Oh. Who says a man can't spend 2?
I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Just a little bit of bone showing. I'll just hug people. It'll poke them.
Hero point.
Nice.
I do another one.
You can absolutely do another one.
He loves
One
this.
goes up.
One of these days you'll land it.
Your numbers only go up.
Oh, baby, they
Numbers
really do.
only go
That's a
up.
critical success.
That's a critical success indeed. It is 4d8 plus 10. The flat rider does not get multiplied.
Okay.
The d8s do. So, over a load of time here, as Zerg and Lizard are passed down the counter, you're able to restore a great amount of, well, their skin to being back together.
26.
26 health to each.
42 total. What? Wait, no. You already did 48. I'm Warren.
I was
Ignore
at
me.
15 before.
Very determined. Okay.
I think so, yes. I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
Which is able to patch Zerg up great. And he is going to awaken feeling pretty solid. And Lizard Man's also going to be much better for wear. As the day inside the Hermitage moves closer to noon, a little almost odd that there's really no indication of the passage of time in here. It always seems the same. Selwyn, having fed on something that does not taste like just a block of salt and sadness.
And I take a bowl to Arabis.
A bowl?
A bowl of this fixed stew.
Somewhat
Selwyn.
recovered still.
Yeah, sell one special.
Yep.
Selwyn made this?
Yes.
Oh, I
Oh.
saved this.
Okay.
Zerg helped.
The
Not
group of
terrible.
you are ready to move on.
I'm never ready.
Let's
I really
plan,
like this room.
friends. There's a nice room. There's food.
This is a great
there's
room.
benches. It's great for everyone.
Blood all over the tables now, but
Yeah,
Eh.
such is life.
Such is life. There's blood all over this Hermitage, except that one little spot I cleaned.
yeah.
Pretty accurate, actually. So,
Yep. I guess we gotta go check out that door. Probably fine now. It's probably just like swinging open.
and as you head around to the main hallway here, heading back to the massive brass engraved double doors in the antechamber of the Hermitage. As you step up towards them, what are you doing?
I will step up close to the door, head bowed, and I just want to touch it and kind of like kneel, like prostrate myself, that letting the Stormlord know we completed the mission.
And as you reach forward and touch it, though it is just cool metal at first, you feel it warm almost immediately. Not heating, not burning you by any stretch of the imagination, but a pleasant warmth. Not so much emanating from the metal door itself, as just flowing from the brass into your hand. And as you do, all of you would hear a sliding of metal on stone as the pair of doors started to slowly swing inward, seemingly of their own volition, as Arabis has barely touched them. As they open, they reveal a chamber far more fantastic than even this entryway here, with its magnificent frescoes and tilework upon the floor. A room that seems at first almost impossible. A massive shrine to Gazra, the wind and the waves. The floor, a sweeping mosaic depicting Gazra's battle against Rovagug in the defense of all creation. The wind and the waves on the northern side of the room, and a massive red ball of hate and claws across the south is split by two channels about 5 feet across and seeming to swoop 5 feet deep that intersect each other in the center of the room, 2 moats. Through the left flows churning water violently, like the strongest of rapids, moved by seemingly no force you can tell. And on the northern side, howling wind moving through the channel like a river. 4 slender bridges cross these moats, and as you look briefly, though it looks like they would ostensibly be as deep as they are across, there's no visible bottom to the things. The far end of the chamber is a raised dais with an altar in front of 2 enormous statues. One, a bearded storm elemental holding aloft a bolt of lightning. The other, a stern woman clothed only in sea foam with an ornate coral crown. The chamber itself is spectacular. But inside, you see 3 more druids on this dais near the altar. One, shield and trident in hand, just leaning, hulking over a much smaller man. The top of his head shaved bald, hair left around the sides coming down into a fairly thick, if not particularly long, beard, with a golden green amulet of Gosra still, even from this distance, clearly visible against his light gray robes. His the only you've seen so far in here, not defaced. Another priest standing next to him, her trident perched up, leaning against it, and behind her, more of these hideously corrupted animals. These ones seeming to perhaps once have been lizards of some kind, but now warped almost beyond recognition. Their heads maws of fangs and teeth, their legs almost insectile. And what's clearly an acidic concoction drooling from their maw, visibly steaming the beautiful art across the floor. As you look in, the 2 druids turn to you, hearing the sound of the door. The lizard nearest you hissing your direction. The druids look at each other first, before the man levels his trident towards you. What's this? How'd you get in here? Who are you?
The Stormlord has brought me to you.
And the
Release
woman,
this man.
though with their trident on the ground. You think to enact his will against his very druids and his hermitage. And she turns to the man next to her and just motions forward. Be rid of them! Listen no more to this! And he just sneers, readying his shield in front of him. Gladly! Come, take him if you wish! As the woman moves her free hand forward, the 2 lizards, hissing, scramble towards the bridges to attack. Let's take our break.
Oh, I was ready to go.
Let's take our break. And when we come back in a couple of minutes, this is certainly a battle. And what may possibly finally be Reginald himself, the leader of the Hermitage, clearly held prisoner in his own domicile. Also, maybe not corrupted. Maybe not. Maybe there is
Fingers
still hope
crossed.
here. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned, everybody. We get to the bottom of this. You're much more well-traveled and much more skilled than you were at the Rise of the Curtain. And that's going to be reflected in the amount of excitement that you generate now. It's going to be pretty neato. But if we have everybody back now, if we have everybody here, then I think we are certainly ready to dive directly into this. So, I'm going to need everybody to roll me some initiative.
And Soren steps up to the plate. Bam.
Natural
Ready
20, yes.
for action.
Ready for action.
You know, these are pretty good.
This is a good initiative so
This is a
far.
good place to roll out a whole lot of real good initiative. Okie dokie. So, meanwhile, lizards don't react very fast to things.
Our lizard did. The only important one.
What have I got here? That's pretty good. And I was gonna spend a hero point on the priest if she rolled terrible initiative, but we're okay. Or villain point. I got 2 left. This is I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want to throw it there, but I'm not going to.
Oh god.
Alrighty.
But it won this.
So
We
wow,
spent
that's a humongous tie you guys got right there.
Wow.
So
Yep.
as this all begins, Selwyn, as per usual, quick to react, ready.
Is there like a large stick lying somewhere within the leaves?
There aren't really much for loose objects around the area here. These chambers, the antechamber here, and this inner sanctum are both quite well kept. That said, there are torches mounted in sconces around the walls, even in
Right.
this massive chamber, and they're just sat in there, meant to be easy to remove to light.
Well, I was gonna do something cool with it, but guess I'll just grab a sconce off, or a torch off the sconce, and shoot that at this scorpion thing in front of me, the closest one.
All right.
Scorpion.
Yeah. With a 24, as I use the wind blowing across the room to give it momentum, slamming into this thing.
Okay, 24 will absolutely hit.
For 14 damage.
That's how you start a fight.
That's a good hit right there. As it accelerates through this river of wind and smashes up into this lizard as it turns hissing towards you, a mighty strike lands against it. Its scales, its hide seem to have hardened with this corruption, almost to the point of becoming brittle, and this torch shatters through its front shoulder.
And with a mocking gesture, I will intimidate it with my glare.
You do have a -1 to this because
Not great. He's
doesn't
not
matter.
terribly frightened.
With a natural 1, no, he is not. It's hard
Well,
to take
I'll
you
ta- I'll-
seriously with this
yeah.
like deformation.
I'll take that order of actions.
Yeah, that's better there for sure. The priest. Need to do some brief measuring here. The priest is going to step forward off the dais behind the lizards, raising her hand. Familiar incantations. Fire a flameye! As she slides a foot forward, and across these cross rivers of wind and waves, a small ball of fire rolls forward to life. Into the
this?
doorway, into Arbus. Who dared speak such heresy? Give me my fireball. There we go. Come on, stupid fireball. So, Arbus, I need you to make me a reflex save.
19.
And with a 19, you're not able to react in time. As you go to move, she slides her foot, turning it along with you, curving the fireball into you. As the sphere connects, you are going to take 10 damage. Ara.
With a quick little gesture, I slap Zerg on the back and cast Magic Fang on him, saying, "If we do well this fight, I'll give you some of the sweets I found."
While he was asleep.
And for your reference, just shove this up here for you.
So his fists now are already +1, so he doesn't get the extra +1 to hit anymore, but he does get double the damage dice on all of his unarmed strikes.
Which is important. Yes, correct.
Super important. One action.
Then I am gonna just mosey over here next to Lizard.
All right, Zerg empowered once again by Ara's magic.
Very empowered. So how close can I get?
So if you want to charge in here, let's see. It's gonna take you 30 feet to get to the bridges, and 20 to get across them. So you could sudden charge in through the doorway and across these two bridges to either side, because you have to go through the door, so it's basically equidistant.
Okay, cool. I am going to. So sudden charge left me with 1 action left, 2 actions left.
Well, attack is part of it. You can run in and attack with sudden charge, and then still have 1 action left afterwards.
Oh, good. Then I'll do that. Yeah, beautiful. Come running in.
Which side do you want to be on?
Top side.
Okay.
Downward fist.
Towards
As
the
always.
lizard thing, or towards the woman?
Towards the woman, actually, because she seems like she's pulling all sorts of crazy shit. Let's go.
Just doing magic things.
Never trust a magic caster.
14.
15.
Yeah. 14
15.
is
15.
15. Still not going to hit. As you come in, she finishes her incantation, and moving with her trident, just twists away from you. Leaves you with 1 action, though.
From the downward strike and the run, there's a bit of momentum going. I'm going to go for the uppercut. Zerg
Alright.
Fist of Fury.
Hands.
So -5 plus 2? Plus 1.
-4, because your fists are agile. So 18, then +1 if you haven't factored that in yet. We can add that into your thing later. So it'd be a 19, and the uppercut will connect.
Hell yeah. Bottom of the jaw. Bam.
And then with your damage, you get an extra D4 on top of that from the Magic Fang spell. Six, and then 1 more for 7. Arbus.
I'm gonna go after Lizard Man. Actually.
All right, so then Lizard Man.
Okay, I like Zerg's thinking. I'm going to also sudden charge, but going on the south side of the room. And I am going to just kick at the weird-looking thing in front of me. That's what I'm gonna do. Between me and Zerg.
So as you are approaching her, she steps forward. You can see that there are collars, harnesses around these massive lizard things that the man with the shield and trident has wrapped up around his wrist, and they can't get much farther from him than they are right now.
Oh,
So as you come in, give me a roll.
okay. It's 21.
21 will hit.
Okay, so that's for 8 damage. And then I am going to brace for impact.
Raising up your shield because surely things are happening here. All right, Arbus.
Alright, I am going to spin away from this fireball and move into the room. To here. I think that's. Oh, baby. Right to here. And as I get here, pulling out my hands and start moving around in a circle as a cloud appears above her, and her hair even starts to stand up a little bit because of static electricity. Tempest surge that bitch.
Instead of a wizard fight with the woman. All right,
Ooh,
she
gross.
is gonna make a reflex save. And her reflexes not good. Angry lizard. She's gonna get 23 though. She's gonna succeed.
Yo, that's pretty good.
Gonna get zapped
for you.
for 5
5.
as the lightning strikes her. These two lizards are both pretty mad. And one of them's only got one direction to turn. So the first of them here is just going to lash out towards Lizard Man. Just snapping with its jaws, this corrosive spittle flying as it bites towards you. And it is going to attempt to bite you. I didn't use that filling point on initiative, so I'm going to use it now. I got the second one from Wolf 13 Red. These are not all the animals. Get all the animals out here. He's gonna surge up, acid flying, and bite you for a 30.
Yo, what?
That hits but does not crit.
Okie dokie. And as his jaws snap shut, you are going to take 7 damage.
Okie dokie.
And this corrosive spittle of his is just left slicked all over you, starting to burn through your armor. His jaws are then going to clamp down, and you are grabbed as he latches onto you before he just rides his head back and forth, ripping and tearing with his fangs. And he's going to try to rend for a 17.
And it does not. That does not make it. It's I'm slippery. I'm a slippery fellow.
The second lizard here doesn't really know where to turn. He's not particularly smart, but he does see you already being overwhelmed by the other lizard. So he's just gonna jump in on that pile. And as you are grappled, you are flat-footed now for -2 to your AC. And this upper lizard is gonna bite for a 20.
My AC is 20.
So just barely gonna be able to get you around the other lizard already kind of attached to you. And these are pretty big animals. They look like if they could stand up on their hind legs, they'd be nearly as big as lizard man. As the second one bites down for 6 damage, also slathering you with this acid, he kind of recoils back because he can't really get a grip on you. The other lizard's way too in the way. And he's going to turn around and focus his attention on Zerg instead, who looks nice and ripe for the nipping. Gonna bite towards you with a 26 on a natural 20.
Yeah, it hits. Yeah, it hits. Fucking bad dog.
And grab onto you for 16 damage. Also latching, his jaws shut. Now this man in the back with his trident takes a moment to reach over the shield hand and unwrap the leashes from his wrist, unleashing the pair of lizards onto the room to let them go forth as they see fit, before he is going to step forward up to you and turn. Sierra, step back, I'll hold them! And stab towards you, Zerg, with his trident. He's going to thrust it towards you for a 19.
Do I have any loss from being grabbed from the pup?
Grabbed is flat-footed. Does deny advantage say you can't be flat-footed, period? Or just from flanking?
Let me double check that.
It means you can't be flat-footed.
It's hidden or flanking.
From,
You're still flat-footed from being grabbed, so you are at a -2.
Okay, so -2, so yeah, that hits.
And he is going to stab his trident into you somewhat cautiously for 14 damage. Cautiously, but thrusting it powerfully forward before pulling it back. And as he took the time to
14?
unwrap his... 14, yeah. Unwrap these leashes from his hand, he can't really get his shield up quickly. Selwyn.
Alright. I shall sprint into the room, full speed, front flipping over this tiny creek, and hopefully stabbing
Definitely
down.
did an acrobatics check to leap that one.
Well, I'm just gonna leap very gracefully then.
I mean, it's a acrobatics check regardless.
Oh, it's a leap over? Alright.
Yeah. Because leaping over anything is an acrobatics check equal to the distance. And it only matters because you can roll a 1, really.
Yeah. Alright. Well, in that case, the 16.
Yeah, for you, not a 1. You can absolutely
Yeah.
run and flip gracefully over these and land on this small point of tiled floor next to the lizards.
And I will twin feint this lizard in front of me. Coming in for a 17 on the first hit.
A 17 is not going to connect.
And
His
on
hide is
the-
brittle but hard.
The second one, the first one was merely a diversion. And the second one comes in for a 21.
21 will absolutely hit.
For 6 damage. Low roll both.
Now, as you punch through the creature here, your sword digging in, with the strike it's taken from the torch, and the kicking and the slashing, and now your sword into it, this lizard falters, barely managing to continue the fight and keep its grip on Zerg.
You can't
Sierra
use
is
hero
going...
points to reroll damage, can you?
No.
Darn.
D20 rolls. Sierra is going to step backwards, motion with her hands, get Sana Mayhem, and reach down as you see what appears to be almost a green glow spiral softly through the air towards the lizard. And she is going to heal it for 2 actions. Ara.
Alright. Oh, I'm gonna take my turn to walk in. Oh, it's a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna cast Firebolt. Produce flame.
Fireball! Bam! Fight's over.
I win.
Who's this at?
It's at the one in this lady. I don't know how to ping her, but the lady.
You just click and hold the ping. With lady in the back.
Yeah, lady in the back. Will a 23 hit her
23 will absolutely hit her, yes.
for 12 fire damage?
Alrighty. And as this strikes her pretty forcefully, she staggers backwards into completing her spell, taking a pretty bad hit from that.
Wave at
Zerg,
her.
you are grabbed by this lizard beneath you. So, without escaping,
yeah,
you are
I'll
currently
wrangle myself
immobile.
free.
So
I'll
you can
wrangle
do that
myself free for that.
athletics, acrobatics, or an unarmed strike.
17 athletics.
17 athletics. Let's see, what is this DC? It's the athletics DC of the creature. With a 17, you try to pull yourself away, but the thing's got its jaws snapped shut. And as you fail to writhe away, its fangs dig deeper, dealing a further 8 damage to you.
Not so good, not so good. You know what? It's nice and close anyway. I'm just gonna punch it.
Yeah, you can still just keep punching. You just can't move anywhere. Still got Magic Fang. So that is,
27 minus 4.
yep, 23. A 23 will absolutely hit this thing.
Lay on the damage!
Oh, baby.
Damage has been laid on, and you get another D4 from Magic Fang.
Bring it on!
Damage is being laid on. A solid strike, 1 action left.
I'm gonna swing again. Yeah, okay.
That was unfortunately not going to be able to land. And at the end of your turn, as this acid dribbles across you, starting to leak through and around your chainmail leotard and really starting to burn into your skin, you're going to take 2 acid damage. And then just roll me a d20.
Just a d20.
A d20, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just persistent damage ending flat check. And you are
That's a 2.
Close.
still eating away at you. Lizard man.
Okay, get off. Get off! And I'm gonna try and escape out of this. And you said an unarmed strike?
Unarmed
Sword?
strike, athletics, or acrobatics. You can pick any of the 3 to escape.
17.
And also, as you
Same
similarly
exact.
fail to wrench this thing off of you, it takes advantage, digging its teeth into you deeper and searing you more severely with this acid as you struggle. And you're going to take 8 damage.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to try again. Get out of, 21.
21 will escape.
20.
20 will escape.
And then I'm going to back off a bit. I'm going to come over here. And just, back away a little bit.
A little bit of
times.
distance. As you run, this acid, this acidic drool, this slobber is still all over you. soaking into your armor and your leather padding beneath. You're gonna take 3 acid damage, and then roll me a flat check to see if it ends.
Okay. So I
It
had 20.
absolutely does. You ride the way. You can run away from all your problems, including burning acid, apparently. Arvis.
Oh boy. I do not like how this is going. I see lizard retreat, and I'm going to double stride all the way next to him, and with some quick battle medicine, try to bring him back up.
What DC, Shenmue?
We're going the big boy. Go with some expert.
Give us the expert.
Well,
Well, hero point.
Hero point. You got 4 still. Burning down to 3. That's the same number.
I'm not too hit. Don't worry about it.
Fuck. Hero point.
Woo! In
Best
there.
flourish persistent.
Arvis is worried about you.
Uh-huh.
That's what we're looking for. 2d8 plus 10 restored to Lizard Man. With the quick 3 attempt triage.
Stop bleeding. Stop bleeding. Please stop bleeding.
Better than nothing.
14 health back. Let's see. Now unleashed, this lizard is going to skitter forward, up next to the group of you, open its mouth, and spray out a gout of this acidic saliva. It is going to hit Selwyn and Ara as it blasts across the river. I need a reflex save from each of you.
Yep.
This is part of our jobs.
21.
21 will succeed.
Session point. Session reroll.
Session reroll.
Whatever.
What do you got?
That's that.
It's a 17.
17 will fail.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, Ara, you are going to take 11 acid damage. Selwyn, you are going to take 5. As this other lizard is still just holding firm onto Zerg here.
How much
He
am I
is
taking,
going-
sorry?
I'm sorry?
How much am I taking, sorry?
5. Half of 11.
Okay.
As the second lizard still just holding firm onto Zerg is just going to keep ripping and biting into him.
No.
With a natural 20.
Oh Jesus.
And Zerg is going to take 18 damage. And as this thing keeps ripping into him, you're going to see him overwhelmed as the lizard takes him down to the floor. Then releasing him, and turning its attention towards Selwyn, the only other thing still in range. And it will bite towards you for a 13, snapping its jaws out.
I dodge out of the way.
And this thing's
Not today.
shoulders are about as high as yours, so this is quite a larger, terrifying monster coming for you. Here, man with a trident. Gonna step forward onto Zerg's body here. And, I'll go ahead and just move him like this. And also join, thrusting his trident down towards Selwyn, smirk on his face. You come in here claiming Gazra supports you. We see
didn't
what
say
side the
shit.
gods are on.
I didn't say shit. Fucking Solid.
It's gonna be a 19 as he thrusts it down at you.
This base comes down. I'm screaming, just like barely stepping away from it.
And
I might have rattled him a bit by the
hand on
screaming.
his face, he pulls his shield up between you and him to defend himself. Selwyn.
Joke's on you, buddy. I wasn't after you, and I'm gonna stab this lizard that's taking down my body.
All right.
For a twin feint. 20 on the first.
20 will absolutely hit. And
For 5 damage.
with 5 damage, you will finally slay this first lizard.
Alrighty. And, bravery incarnate as I am, I will bravely run away.
Yeah.
So, if you're trying to run away from there, you have no space. You need a 10-foot run-up
Alright.
to try to clear something like that.
Can I do, like... to
And they
here
are
and then-
bodying both the bridges. You want to run out and then run back?
Yep. That was like here.
High five the lady. Turn around.
Yeah.
So you have to run 10 feet,
And then
Run
back
back
10 feet.
10
and then
feet.
Another 10 feet to get here. I have 30 movement speed.
Oh, you have a 30-foot movement speed? Okay, then yeah, if your movement speed can do all that in one stride, then yeah, you can go
Yeah.
for that jump. You step over the lizard, right up to the woman who
Yeah.
shies back, turn around and
See
just
you later.
walk away, then jump across. The priest, as she stands back, look a little concerned as the lizard falls, but looking to see her comrade stepping over the fallen body of Zerg. Plants her trident, focuses on a spell with a heavy incantation, doing several different movements. Vocore Elementis! And raising her hand up, and as she does, again, as you've seen before, a water elemental surges out of the ground, coming together, drawn from the liquid of this river, running across the floor past Ara, and rising up behind him. And give me one quick check to see if he gets to do anything this turn. He does not. He has to be commanded first. But as he appears, the elemental, 2 almost big pseudopods welled up of this water, slammed together in front of him, emerges his body as he looks to aim to bull right into you, pushing you into the river. Without her focus, the fireball sputters out and disappears entirely. Ara.
Ara's much too concerned with Zerg right now.
Who
I'm
is
gonna
dying
use-
too because he went down to a crit.
Yeah, I'm going to use my last spell slot to heal him with 2 action. So it's 1d8 because it's level 1. D8 plus 8. Math. That is not math. For 14.
Zerg is going to awaken, a little confused as to what happened, prone on the ground, still burning with this acid, but with 14 health now, and you have 1 action left.
And then I'm gonna fling fire because I'm way too scared at this point. I'm gonna elemental toss at her
Okay?
again. What did that roll? 18 to hit
18 will hit.
for 9 fire damage.
As that one strikes her, she does not seem particularly hardy. She can't take much more. Though the man and the second lizard are so far unharmed. Lizard man.
I am going to. Is there room on this bridge? Could I run across the bridge past this lizard, or is that
You
like...
would need to either shove it with athletics or acrobatics to tumble past it. At the moment, it's blocking the bridge.
Oh, okay. I'm
Both
just gonna
bridges
run
leading to
up
the
to it.
platform with the caster are blocked by the front line.
Okay. I'm going to run up to it and just try and swipe at it. Deal some damage, I would hope. 18.
18 will hit.
Okay, so for 6 damage. And then I am going to step back in front of Arvis.
Run up, slash it, back up. Hit and run tactics.
Yes.
And Arvis.
So, what's the roof of this place look like? Is it completely enclosed? Is there?
It is fully
Glass
enclosed,
roof?
though this is at this point nested pretty deep within the cliffside. Though the arched ceiling of this does arc pretty high overhead. It's probably about 20 feet high at the ends and maybe 25 feet tall in the middle. There's a domed stone ceiling with this massive fresco, this mosaic on the floor, continuing up the walls and onto the ceiling of Gazra battling Rovagug.
Okay, I am going to stare up at the ceiling, reach towards the sky, and in my head think, Stormlord, I need you now. And I'm gonna look at the priest with my hand in the sky, and I'm gonna make eye contact with her, and I'm gonna say, "You're done." And I pull down my hand, casting Sudden Bolt.
A big blast. And though she has all the time in the world to react to this, she gets an 18 on her
Wow.
reflex save.
Well, the bolt just like appears through the ceiling. Like it shouldn't happen. It's a literal lightning bolt. It shouldn't be able to do that. It hits her. Dust. Nothing left. Yeah.
With one action left.
Pat the lizard on the back. Get him. God.
Zerg, you awaken. Unconscious. From unconscious. You blacked out for a moment when that lizard grabbed hold of you. But you're prone on the ground with this man standing over you, looking away from you.
Beautiful. Perfect. Gonna grab the leg and trip. What do I do for that?
That's
What do I-
athletics.
what do you- Athletics?
Yeah, pretty much anything you want to do to somebody that doesn't like hit them to do damage is athletics.
24.
24, you will absolutely bring him down to the ground next to you.
Gonna crawl up onto his back and smash his face into the ground.
Give me some hits. He's got his shield up, and as you pull him down, he tries to roll around to get the shield in between the pair of you.
Attack roll, athletics roll.
Attack roll.
Some
Hero,
primal
hero,
combat
hero
shit.
point. Hero
Nice.
point. That's better.
22, so -4 from your second action, 18. You swing down, and he pulls his shield around, and it's just like the guy in the entry hall. Has it up between the two of you, and just hiding underneath it, bracing it almost with the haft of his trident as you slam down into the shield.
Is that? Do I have another?
You got one action. That's only two things, yeah.
Oh, I thought the movement was all right. Sweet. I'm gonna try and just rip the shield off him. Oh, you know what? No, I'm gonna end the turn and rage. This fucking thing knocked me out. I'm angry. You can't get at him. I'm angry. We're raging.
He's pissed!
Get him.
As the acid from this lizard continues to burn away at you, how much temp health do you give when you rage? 5?
5, 6?
6.
6? Well, this acid's gonna burn you for 6 damage. So you rage almost in a shared like hate and pain response as this burning acid does away all the temp HP you get from raging, leaving you on the ground mad next to this man.
On top of this man.
On top of this man. Very upset with the state of things. This lizard, not particularly smart, is going to step out across the bridge and just continue trying to snap its jaws towards the closest thing it can find, which happens now to be a lizard man. As it rushes across the bridge, bites up at you with an 18.
And he does not. He's got a kind of funky angle now that he's a little bit above, and he does not hit.
As he quickly tries to recover and snap one more time for a 20.
That will hit. That hits exactly.
He scrapes his jaws across you, dealing 6 more damage, and spraying you with some more of this foul, corrosive agent but it's not going to be quite enough to get a grip on you. Also, Zerg roll me a flat d20 to see if your persistent damage ends, by the way. Before I forget about that. Does not. On the ground next to you, this man who's been brought down, seeing you rage, flailing, beating on him, literally transforming into a raging gorilla on top of him, is gonna push back with his trident and just roar out himself, his veins bulging around his face as this dark blood fills them. His eyes starting to turn that pale yellow. He roars out and stabs up at you with the trident from below. As you're both laying on the ground, you're both flat-footed because you're both prone. Stab you for a 22.
Yeah, it'll get me.
He mad. And thrusting up at you, this strike is going to deal 17 damage. Unfortunately, knocking Zerg back out once more. Still a monkey, still mad, but unconscious, and once again, dying too.
No, rage ends when I fall unconscious.
Does it? Unfortunately, I actually didn't know that. So no longer raging. Get a moment of anger before going back out. So many icons on your token right now. Magic weapon, acid, wounded. I guess we don't need prone anymore. Dying is just worse prone. And then he is going to pick himself up from the ground. Just turn grinning, look towards Selwyn, and just level his trident at you across the river. You! Selwyn.
Me? I'll run across the bridge this time. Like a normal person. So here.
Help!
And I will twin think this lizard scorpion weird thing that looks very odd and scares me very much. And on the I'll use my session reroll on the 11.
All right.
19 instead
19 will hit.
for 10 damage.
Slash through, cracking this
sprinting
thing
and
so high.
slashing. And then once again from below, and this is easy because it's as big as me.
It is as big as you.
I will also use a hero point.
Get
It's-
him,
it's-
girl.
14
It's
is
time.
bullshit. Yeah. Well, 13 ain't great, but
13
I will.
flat-footed. Not gonna do it.
No, I didn't think it would. That's me.
Alright.
I'm gonna use
As
my
it comes
movement.
around you, this water elemental, as quickly as it was surged, with the woman having been disintegrated by Arabus's lightning bolt, simply splashes back down to the tile.
I look to where it was, wave goodbye, and run around the Zerg. Think. I've seen Arbus do this a lot. I'm going to attempt to stay. That's untrained action.
It is an untrained action.
Administer first aid.
So it is.
Administer.
Yeah, it is
Do I
actually the
need
same death roll that he would have to make. And
Do
let
I
me double
need-
check real quick. You need to just make a medicine
is-
check, yes.
I don't need a medical kit for it, right?
You do need a medical kit for it.
I have to have healer souls. You
Oh,
just listened
fuck.
to me.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
I need to get me a medical kit. Well then, I'm gonna stand right here, wherever I was standing, right here.
Yeah, it's there.
Look at the
thereabouts.
guy that pointed at Selwyn. Look at the guy who's targeting Selwyn and said, "Don't forget about me. I'm here too. I'm pretty angry." And not be angry enough.
With the 17, he's pointing at Selwyn as she runs. He pulls her shield around and your flame splashes across it, charring the wood a bit. That was your one action.
What does the caster do with one action? If not, run this way. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna run up here. Goodbye.
Lizard man.
So looking at these rivers, do they look like they would sweep someone away if you got pushed into it?
The river is raging like rapids, and the stream of air is blowing so hard, so gnarled and thick, you can barely see down into it. Both rivers, you can't see the bottom. They may very well be bottomless. It absolutely looks like either would be enough to sweep them away.
Okay, so I'm going to move over here and just roundhouse kick as literally as hard as I can and try and push this guy off the bridge.
All right.
Athletics. 22.
22 will do it. As you push him
Nice.
back, and he drops down into this river here. You see him fall, it almost kind of slows him. The force of the wind's so powerful that it's almost able to keep this creature aloft. As he falls in, he is going to take some damage from hitting. Although it appears bottomless, you do hear the thump as he crumples against the bottom of it about 10 feet below. Actually, yeah, about 10 feet below. Oh, 30 feet below. I'm wrong.
Holy shit.
He falls a lot. But the winds are blowing so ferociously that it does greatly soften his fall. But he drops away into the winds very far down below.
Okie dokie, and then I'm just going to run across the bridge, up the stairs near this guy up here, and, no, that's all I can do. I'll just run up there. I'll run up the stairs.
As you get up to him, he seems a bit beaten. Much the same as the mayor had been when you first found him when you came into the
But he's not
entryway.
gagged or anything?
He's not gagged, he's not bound, but he does seem to just barely be conscious. He's
Oh, okay.
laying there on the top of the dais near the altar and barely even registers you as you walk up to him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As you approach, still dripping with this acid, you're going to take 6 more acid damage. And roll to see if
and
it
then
hits.
rolls. -6. Okay. Oh, okay. D20.
Does not.
5. I'm a, it's fine. Okay.
Okay. Arbus. Zerg is in pretty desperate danger of dying.
Okay, so mechanics question, I guess. If he's still taking persistent damage that ticks on his turn,
Yes.
that automatically increases dying value, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The only house rule I have in second edition right now is that if you are dying, persistent damage does not further increase your dying value. It's the only second edition house rule I have at the moment.
What if you're just unconscious,
You're unconscious, it will put you to dying again.
but it goes back to reset, or it continues from where it was at?
So if you've hypothetically healed him right now, or
If I
stabilized,
stabilized him right now.
he'd be unconscious, wounded 2. He wouldn't make any rolls, the acid would tick, it would put him to dying 3. He couldn't die next. You would guaranteed give him 1 more turn.
Seems like my best and only option at this point. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go over here, run across the bridge, reach out towards Zerg on the ground. Not yet, Mr. Batsky. And I'm gonna try to stabilize him. I can't.
And with your spell, still unconscious, he remains alive.
That's everything I got.
Hold on.
Hmm?
Stabilize. The target loses the dying condition.
Oh.
It does not
So-
say your wounded increases.
Oh, so it. Oh.
So if you stabilize it, actually looks like... I mean, surely it does. I'm going to say it does. I'll look into it further. He's definitely not going to die this turn, though. The lizard is stuck at the bottom of this 30-foot pit now. He is upset, clearly angry, and is going to attempt to scrabble his way out of here. Fortunately for him, he is a lizard. They're okay at that. Unfortunately for him, the winds blowing so severely through the channel make it very difficult for him to move. As he's getting blown to the left by this, he's first going to move and push his way up the river a bit to where they intersect into the water. The place these rivers intersect is the most incredible of all. They pass through each other, but the air keeps going its way and the water keeps going the other. They don't mix seemingly at all. As he moves around into the wall of this water, he then begins to swim upwards quite effectively up towards the top. And then he is going to attempt to pull himself out of the water here. Very moist, very soaked. He's going to manage to do it. It's going to be all of his actions. He's just trying to get out of this moat and end up sopping wet at the far eastern end of the chamber. Zerg.
He's currently not here.
Still unconscious. It's okay, doesn't have to do much.
Nice.
He's going to take 3 damage and be knocked back down to dying 3. And perhaps whatever the god Zerg believes in will step in to save him here. The acid damage ends!
Oh, man. Oh,
Not out of the woods. Still at dying 3. As the retainer here sees Lizard Man step up towards Reginald, he doesn't care. He's mad. He sees his target. He steps around the corrosive lizard down to this bridge to stab at Selwyn, looking only her direction. As he goes around this lizard, that is going to provoke from Lizard Man.
What did I do?
why is he so pissed at someone? It's a gnome thing, isn't it?
Not very good. A 14.
Gonna slash across his armor as he steps forward. And grinning, raging, dark veins pulsing in his face, stab down at you for a 17.
I dodge out of the way, screaming in fear.
Hold still, you shit! And stab again.
Stop stabbing me, then!
Leaving with a 16.
I dodge out of the way again.
Shield now hanging down at his side as with his rage, he's just thrusting down at you repeatedly. Selwyn.
Stop! Alright, I'm gonna go here, and I won't come back until you've learned some manners and I run away. Okay, let's see. I was here. 1, 2,
20, 25, 30 gets you to the doors. That's 35.
Is it? 6 first?
Yeah, it goes 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35.
There,
Every
I'll
second
put it
diagonal.
here. Yep. And I'll twin fin the Scorpion and try to keep my bestie safe in this time of need. As I bravely run away from the other one. So 14 on the first hit.
Oh, God.
And I will use another hero point.
Where's the dice today?
I know, right? 25
There it is.
for 9 damage.
25 will hit. And 9 damage.
Oh, thank the
Exactly
gods.
what's needed to bring this second lizard down.
Ave Maria, Dios mío.
Your second strike landing just almost out of sheer fear at this point, I'm sure.
Yep.
Ara.
Ara at this point is getting very lethargic. But he still is flying out of him towards that one dude who's left for a 27 to hit.
That's pretty good. He is raging. It's not quite gonna crit, but it's definitely gonna connect.
And it's 11 fire damage.
And that splashes across the lane. The first solid hit that's connected with this man. He starts for a second and turns and looks back to you, furious.
And then I'm going to attempt to intimidate him. For a 20 total.
He looks back. Doesn't really recognize what you are. A little frightened. A little frightened.
Delta flame just shooting off of me. I'm surrounded by fire at this point.
Lizard man.
So, this seemed to work fairly well last time. I am going to, like, full-on run towards this man and just try and push him off the ledge also. So, with a 18, I may use my Jestron Aragon Rider hero point.
want to?
I think I have to say that before.
You do. Are you going to? You can take the 18.
Yeah, I'll probably hero point that. Aha! 25!
25, stepping forward. As he turns back to look at Ara, you knock him into the river of air as well. The blowing winds, again cushioning his landing. As he lands 30 feet down at the bottom of the trench.
And then I am going to run over to Zerg and start shaking him. Zerg, wake up! Wake up!
And as you do, this burning acid does another 6 damage to you as it continues to eat away through your scales. Roll the Sufidence. Still
Oh.
burning.
Oh man. Oh man.
Arbus.
I am going to drop to a knee, reach out towards Zerg again, and now, like, wherever you can see skin on her, there's like little blue pale cracks, glowing light, almost like lightning bolts. And reach out to him again, and I said, not yet. And I'm gonna try to stabilize him again.
And with that cast, Zerg is going to stabilize once more. Wounded 3. But with no further persistent damage on him. The closest a man can possibly get to death.
No, he
without
still hasn't spent all his
actually
hero points.
Zerg's just unconscious. He's got nothing at this point. His retainer down at the bottom of this river, 30 feet down the trench. Frightened Avara, raging, attempts to scramble up the wall here to try to get out. With this wind blowing against him, as he tries to climb even just a little bit, the wind blows him back off onto the ground. And he calls up, "Cowards! Cowards! Gosra's on our side!" And tries again to climb it, sort of just stumbling into it, enraged. Still just slipping. You can't get out. You can't get out of it.
Poor guy.
Owen?
Yep. If Gosper's on your side, why are you down here and I'm up here? And I'll fling the broken torch at him. Go win for extra speed. All right, hearts are just for wind. However, you're still an asshole. And I'll try to intimidate him. Or 22.
Yeah, he's still frightened down here. Ara?
I'm gonna take a step forward, very sharp. I am not moving. I am measuring. Very sharp motions, and with a huzzah, throw out some more of this burning hatred. The 26 to hit.
Yeah, he doesn't have his shield up or anything. He's at the bottom of this little channel here. Yeah, and he's
Lobbing
also
it.
frightened 1, so a 26 will critically hit.
So for 26 fire damage.
Yeah.
Burn, baby.
Oh boy.
What do you do, Ara?
As seen once before, Ara just kind of gathers up the last of the magical energy inside his body and just pushes it forward, hoping it hits and hoping it does something. And as it hits the man, it explodes, and then he just falls over sideways, stiff as a board.
Unless he just drops dead to the ground there. His body just kind of slowly blowing along. The force of the wind's strong enough to move him.
Wow.
And his blood running across the bottom of this channel. You're left with just the sound of the Twin Rivers here. The only thing left audible in the chamber. Battle falls silent. Zerg is motionless.
I start performing CPR. I don't know how to do it. I'm just gonna grab his mouth open. I've got like crocodile teeth. I'm gonna try super carefully. Try and do some palpitations over there.
Lizard, careful. You're going to kill him if you do anything wrong.
And as you're trying, you take 4 more acid damage.
Okay. I realize that I'm also dying of acid damage, and I just take off my shirt, and I take off my armor, and I take off my shirt, and I throw it behind me. So I would roll another d20
Yes.
with a 12.
you taking your actions to try to end it. A 12 will end the acid finally, shortly before it kills you as well.
Jeez.
Zerg is battered, burnt, and torn.
Well, there's
So
a reason we call him Batsky.
Is first aid a different thing than
First aid
treat
is
wound
first aid is a
Battle
different thing, but first aid just stabilizes him. He's already stabilized from your magic.
Right. Okay.
He is just barely alive.
I have literally nothing I can do. Nothing more I can do.
Wounded
He's-
3, but
He's
unconscious.
stable, but it's very close.
I'll walk up to this man. Reginald, I presume.
He turns bleary-eyed again, still barely even seeming to realize where he is, and looks up at the strange gnome standing over him with her red and black clown outfit.
Face
Yes.
disfigured, but a grin on my face.
Yeah, you're horribly mutated side of your face. Yes. I am afraid I don't recognize you.
Well, that's because we've never met before.
Oh, Gosra protects whoever you be. A shame what had to be done here, but neither I nor the Stormlord will hold that grudge to you, certainly.
So,
And he just lays back against the stone,
yeah.
then closes his eyes.
You good? You want some food? Water? You seem parched. Or wounded. Or both.
A
Not
moment
mutually exclusive.
is all I need. Of respite. Concentration. And of great prayer.
What's that in minutes?
He doesn't really move. If anyone who just walked in the room, he could very well be dead.
Silence type. I get it.
Laying. Meanwhile, Lizard and Zerg in this pile in the corner, both barely alive. Well, Lizard barely conscious, Zerg barely alive, with Aura and Arabis nearby, trying to help. What are you guys doing?
Where it looks like he just needs a nice bed. I'm gonna take him over to the bed over there. He'll be fine in no time.
Can
I'm
anyone else
sure of
treat
it.
wounds and maybe help him out a little bit?
That's not
I think-
personal based. That's being
yeah.
treated.
Oh, that's just in general. That's not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
You
me.
can easily medically treated right now.
I think if
So-
you can pull it off, I don't think any of us will. Well, we'll just mess it up. Really. What do you want to do?
Reginald slowly opens his eyes and
How long was
pulls
that in
himself
minutes?
up to a sitting position. Hold a moment. Whoever you be, how did you pass through the doors to this chamber?
The wind
Uh,
guided me here, and the Storm Lord let me in.
Yeah, what she said, probably.
He just nods. I put my trust in the wind and the waves. And here you are. And he kind of fumbles around his chest for a bit before clutching his holy symbol. As he does, he focuses for a moment. Eyes closed. Making a quick motion with his other hands. Sada! Ma'am. And he raises it up as a wave of positive energy rolls out of him. And everybody in the room is going to heal for 10.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Back to bull.
Which is going to wake up Zerg on the floor.
I had too much stew.
I'm gonna
Maybe it
slap,
was a
slap,
little salty.
Oh, don't
Slap,
hit.
slap.
Don't hit him.
slap, slap. Zig,
Stop
Zig, are you
hitting
awake?
me!
Zig.
It is enough. Stop.
I have to kiss you again. This is gonna go south really fast.
Again?
Oh, yikes! South.
Oh.
What do you mean again?
I was trying to keep you alive, obviously. I've had kissing people works.
Yes.
And clearly it works, so I mean, obviously in the future this is gonna have to happen. Try not to
Okay.
die though, so...
I close my eyes and think of Ulva. It's okay.
Okay, don't think of it too hard, just like... a little bit, I guess.
Whoever you are that have made your way this deep in the Hermitage, clearly the wind and the waves has touched you, whether you know it or not.
We have killed most of your druids,
Again,
if not all of them.
a shame, but perhaps at this point, a mercy.
Speaking of, quick question, non-related. If, let's say, animals were corrupted by a demonic ritual, would you know how to unfuck it?
This power the visiting priest brought is not something I understand, and something I fear I cannot revert. Her fell magics are nothing if not strong.
Well, in that case, be right back, and I'll sprint off and coup de grace the panther when they get there.
Oh, when I'm not even.
Someone just runs out of the room. You know, I mean, if you don't follow her, she's gonna run up
No.
and just stab the panther a bunch of times.
Do you have any idea what is happening here?
This is a long tale. Dilvi Champt is the woman responsible. But I fear there is much more under the surface than that. She is the simple tipping point. A resource, a reliquary of abyssal knowledge, I'm afraid. Foul words, those here in my hermitage are all too welcome to. It is my fault that you have been forced to fight your way in here rather than being welcomed on pleasant terms. There's no way I could properly apologize.
It's okay. I brought you for a reason, and clearly it was to save you.
Please. I need time and rest. I'll tell you all there is to know. You're more than welcome to stay. We've large guest chambers not far from here, just off the main entryway. Well appointed and furnished last I knew.
I'm gonna reach into Selwyn's bag, if I can get to it. Pull out a little flyer. Actually, we have to be somewhere super important in like 2 days, and if you would like to come, it would be super lovely.
Yes, for the front row seats.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We'll do like top-notch seating, but we have to kind of go soon.
I feel it is unwise to leave the Hermitage in its current state, but
Can't possibly get any worse.
as much as it pains me,
Am I back good?
you may be right. And I owe you all that I can afford. Please. And he holds out a hand from the dais, up on the far western side of the room. I am old. In my years, my vision fails me. Bring that closer, if you will.
Yes. I walk forward and give it to him, being very careful not to get blood on it this time.
And he takes it, and he's brought himself into a kneeling position, resting on his laurels. He looks at it in front of him.
Pretty nice flyers, aren't they? We just made them new.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, we just made them, like, just a couple days ago. The old ones were really old. These ones are the new ones.
These are much better.
Yeah.
Am I back from my little stint?
Come on. You'd be coming in about now to see him holding a flyer for the circuit show.
Uh-oh.
I
must
be honest, I'm unsure what to make of all this. But
What's a flyer for our show is that's what the flyer's for.
I'll run up and snatch the flyer real quick, put it back into my bag. Right. I apologize for my incredibly crass but very capable party member.
What does grass mean?
Circus member. Crass means rude. It's just a nicer way to put it.
The group of you are circus folk.
Right, yes. Also, private investigators and recently deputized by the Guard of Abbottson.
I am the Stormborn.
David Holden. Haven't seen him in some time, but
Well, he was here.
my captors told me as such.
But we freed
Sierra
him.
held that over me. That he returned not long ago, was it? Well,
Not very long.
the will of Gosra rarely finds humor, but I know not how else to react to such news. If there was more I could do to aid to your wounds, I would, but it was the last I have in me.
That's completely fine. We should bring you to Abbottson, though. Mayor Holden's house. Have you recuperate. I don't think staying here amongst the pile of corpses will do you any good.
And as you're here, just kind of looking in, a couple of the other druids have kind of gained attention, poking their heads in the room from the shouting, the sounds of battle, the explosions and hellfire, and the great door to the central chamber being opened. You'd recognize the pair of them from, well, being an unconscious pile in the room you'd found earlier. As they both kind of look in. The woman elbows the man, and the man, his shield and trident out in his hands, looking very uncertain, steps forward. Master Hamdeal. He looks around the room, the dead lizards strewn throughout, the corpse of the priest, well, which is not even a corpse, it's just dust and
Yeah, it's
robes.
just us.
At the front of the dais.
Oh,
Who are you?
We are the saviors of the winds and waves, here to liberate the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning. Probably.
And Reginald puts a hand out. And with their assistance, this revolution has come to its end. I would hope. Please, Galenor, return to the path. You must see now that this foul temptation, the dark words of Champt, they lead only to pain and darkness.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he one of the bad ones?
Alright.
God, okay, fine.
And he, as are you like walking out towards him?
Yeah, I was wiping
He
my
kinda
claws
steps back,
off
he's like,
on my legs.
whoa, no, hold on.
Yeah.
He surrenders and then puts a shield back in front of him and drops his trident and puts his hand up. Whoa! And looks around, the blood strewn all throughout the antechamber where he is. You lot have killed a lot of people.
I'm gonna glare and like walk right up to him as close as I
Self-defense.
can get. Be like, so are you one of the bad ones?
No, of course.
You're gonna be one of the good ones now, yeah?
I've dedicated my life to the path of the wind and the waves. Aye.
Okay, well, yeah, you stick by that story. Yeah,
Right.
I'm watching you.
You have my word. I gave up my life, my family, my pa, to travel here, to commit my life.
Well, you can commit your life actually if you end up turning the wrong way. So when you just like committing your life thing and then changing it every once in a while to turn evil just isn't gonna fly now.
And the woman, kind of hiding, half hidden behind the frame of the door here, look around. Aye, we're but humble pilgrims.
Oh, I was too. I'm the cousin of... What was her name? Vesk? Tesk? Nesk?
Quest?
No, I'm Quest.
Your quest. Fest.
Yeah,
Fest.
Fest.
And he just kind of, the man, Galenor, kind of just looks back. Went up at you. You're a gnome!
So?
Ah, wait, I get it.
What?
What?
They were in the room last night. And the woman's like,
Oh,
I obviously
you-
understand that now, Galenor.
There's you
Osric
knocking on
blessed
the
you
door.
with penitence, but not with smarts, did he? Galenor just looks back at her. The fuck? And turns back to the lizard, still kind of very close in front of him. But, of course, Master Hamdil was sworn to you.
I'm gonna slide my hand inside of Selwyn's pouch and draw out a flyer. And slowly reach it out towards them.
Is it the same slightly bloodied flyer?
Slightly bloodied flyer here.
And as Galenor's just kind of looking at it, still a little afraid, they went back to the door. Is that a flyer for a fucking circus?
Well, you speak nicely at the Circus of Wayward Wonders. That's where we work and live.
And I guess we will see you there in 2 days. Right? Right?
He takes the flyer. Yeah, yes, of course.
Yeah, make sure to buy a lot of food.
Yes.
And merchandise. Don't forget the
Oh, and the
merchandise.
and the
We-
hats. We got new hats now too.
We have
The
pilgrims.
Zurich shirts are going like crazy.
We've not much for coin.
Well, then you'd better find some.
And,
Maybe we could give them some shirts because they'd come and get free stuff.
Yes, give free stuff of Zurich
No,
shirts.
wait,
Yes, how
no,
do you
we're
think I
not
get
giving-
snacks?
We're not giving free stuff. How
But
do you
they
think we'll live?
druids like me, Stalwin. They should get
Yeah, well,
free
there's gnomes
t-shirt.
like me out there too. Do you think I'd give handouts to them?
Wow.
Besides,
It's
they're
not
like
them.
they're penancing or whatever. So I feel like penancing requires they have to come penance to us too, right?
See, now
I
Lizard's saying something
truly
nice.
don't know what to make of this situation, but we'll gather what's left. We have a few days to tally, properly inter those who have fallen. They were still
Ah.
priests of the order after all. The choices
sure-
in the last hour of their lives do not remit a lifetime of service.
Right. I'm sure you'll find some of them around.
But there may be some missing.
They're just, you don't worry about the other ones.
They understand the situation, Lizard.
I'm sure that you acted as you had to.
Yes.
If the wind and the waves put his faith in you, so too do I. We will attend this show of yours at Aberton, and I'll speak further with you there. You've come this far. I believe there's much you do well to know, but as I said, I need rest. Desperately.
Final question. I'll let you rest. And once again, apologies for all the chaos we've caused. I am truly sorry what's transpired here. Is there an easy way back that doesn't involve risking your life crossing a half-destroyed chasm?
We may got destroyed.
Yeah, the road sucks.
We make our pilgrimage on the cliffside path. A journey intentional to bring us closer to both the wind and the waves, to our Lord above and
I
below.
got pretty fucking close to the wind and the waves. I
didn't have any problem at all getting across, if I remember correctly. But
With your druid, it's made for druid people.
There is no easier path, but
Fuck.
perhaps some supplies, rope here may assist you. As a matter of fact, and he reaches back to his staff that's just against the wall, not even leaning, just on the ground flat, back on the dais, and grabs it and pulls it out. This may be of some assistance to you, perhaps. This is a staff of some power, connected to nature. With its magic, you can will into existence servants of nature to aid you. Perhaps, if not that, and as he holds the staff out towards you, it's a carved wooden staff, about 5 feet long. Smooth, but geometric, almost octagonal down most of the shaft, with some simple leather-wrapped grip around the middle. And up from there, carved animal heads placed in a spiraling pattern up towards the top, where it is topped with the head of an eagle, its massive beak forming a hook around the edge of it. And under its beak, almost coming out from the side of it, is a much smaller wooden face carved of a monkey. And he reaches and slides that monkey face out at a close, attached to a short wooden pin. The magic in this, separate, may aid in climbing, though it is simple and would only assist one of you. He briefly explains the items to be an animal staff and a monkey pen. The animal staff, able to cast no direction, magic fang, and summon animal, which can be recharged with either of your primal magic to store more castings of this spell. In addition, while wielding it, it will give you a passive +2 bonus to nature checks to identify any animals, just from its innate magic. The monkey pin is an armor talisman that you can attach to your armor, and you can will its power out when you take the climb action. And if you succeed, you'll move your full speed instead of just a third. And if you critically fail to climb, you will only fail instead, not falling. But like all talismans, it is a one-use item. The staff, however, is much stronger.
I feel like Cirque should get the talisman.
Yeah. He could use some help sometimes.
Oh, I was more thinking because it's a monkey.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
The motif
of that.
You mean use some help? Who needs help?
Don't need help.
Well, you were on the ground for a long time during all
I
that.
was tired. I had big food. I'm fine.
It's all the salt.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
You've earned this and so much more. Please. Anything you may have found in this hermitage is yours to keep. All resources are yours. Truth be it, all left in this hermitage owe their existence and their prayers to you, 5.
So you don't have any like friends or anything, do you? Like around outside of this hermitage?
I only speak briefly with the mayor on occasion, David Holden. He's visited down here sometimes, and I would call him a close friend. I understand why, in the face of everything they told me they were doing, he would still think it's safe to come meet. I've failed his trust as well.
Well, hopefully he made it back. So,
He said he would.
yeah, but I think he's still owed me 4 silver. We'll see once we get back.
I will meet you in Abertern in the coming days. If you seem you're in some hurry to return, do not let me stop you. There is much here needs tended to. Galenor, if you will, aid me to my chambers.
I do
And,
need some help.
Galenor just nods and goes a step forward. As you offer, he kind of stops for a moment. That's quite all right. I'll help Master Hamdil. It just kind of slowly settles around you. And then across the bridges to Reginald, slinging an arm over his shoulder and helping him up off the altar. So, with a group of you.
Time for us to head home, right? Oh, actually, did Aura ever identify the scarf thing that he has wrapped around his whatever?
Those were the
ribbon?
fish
Those are
wraps.
Hand wraps. They're
Oh,
on
those are
check
fish
now.
wraps. Okay. Do you have
Those are
anything
on check.
unidentified on this?
The
You have several
coyote
things
pelt.
identified. You have the coyote pelt cloak, and two alchemical things that require a crafting check and access to some alchemist tools to identify properly.
Right. I'll show him the coyote pillow cloak and ask him if he knows what this is.
I'll pull out my glasses and I want to attempt to identify it.
Right, I'm just gonna ask Reginald.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
that
need
too.
alchemist tools to identify alchemical items. So, Reginald looks down at the cloak. Well, I haven't seen this for quite some time. I will not ask or question your motives, but I know this has come from our crypts. I assume some
No problem.
woe has befallen them as that as well. A fitting punishment for pilgrims strayed so far from the path. This cloak is enchanted. It aids in wilderness survival and travel. Will help you to scavenge or to hunt. And you will find your bounties from such plentiful, as if the wind itself guided your hands. You're gonna show him the alchemical items as well?
Yeah, sure. Ask him if he knows.
And looking at the two. This first, the dark, almost tar-like one. This elixir brewed from the scales of volcanic salamanders to assist in any travel through heat and perilous situations. We've little use for it. It's rested on that shelf for ages. But this will shield you from even a journey into the mouth of a volcano, so they say. Not enough to prevent you from being burned by actual fire or lava, but to shield you from the heat itself. I doubt it's quite as potent as the alchemist said, but still useful. And the
Right.
last, this is a tincture. Well, I now understand why you traveled to the crypts. A tin of silver sheen. An oil applied to a weapon to give it the strength of alchemical silver. To fight back against fae or demons or undead. It is true, then. The Stormlord has forsaken this hermitage. I will dedicate what years I have left to sanctifying our halls once more to be worthy of his return.
All right.
You have,
Well-
if you want to just write those down, a lesser salamander elixir and silver sheen.
And what was the fur?
The fur, you only know what he told you.
Okay.
Getting an actual, Google it, identify from things is actually pretty rare in second edition, because even successfully identifying an item just kind of tells you that. It doesn't give you the +1, -1 minutiae
Right.
of what it does. Just how to activate it if it needs to be activated, and an overview of what it is capable of. And the cloak has no activation, it's purely passive.
Right.
Well,
Well, I'll carry the cloak with me.
yeah, I'm glad you lived and stuff. That's good. Good job. I guess we should be on our way then.
I have a promise to keep, Lizard Man.
Oh, right, you have your wolf. Where's your wolf? I guess we
Not-
better go get him.
Not my wolf.
Oh, the wolf.
I promise
go get
that
the
you
wolf.
can come with me. I mean, if that's okay with Reginald, we saved
Hey.
him.
Wolf. They had told me only some small details of the abyssal rituals they were performing on the animals we protected here.
It was horrible. We got there
Her
just
name
in
is
time. though.
Sheol,
She has a name.
and if you have saved her from whatever fates they had in store, I, truth be told, witnessed little of your battle, but I heard your prayers to the Storm Lord above. Perhaps this is meant to be. You may be able to give her a better life than we now can in this hermitage. I fear for what supplies and resources we have left, and the state of things. This may no longer be a safe home for her. Well, what is your name, Pilgrim?
Well, I call myself Arubis.
Well, Arubis. I have a strange notion about you. You're connected to this place in some way or another, or at least the will of the wind and the waves. It almost glows throughout you.
You can see. Well, how do I say? I'm the Stormborn. I don't know if you've ever heard of such prophecies, but in my tribe it was said that one would be born during a ferocious tempest and would have connection to the Stormlord
He
himself.
looks down and kind of thinks. It is a name I have heard, but only in passing. I'm unfamiliar. That's... You're not from the Isle of Arran at all, are you?
I'm not entirely sure where I came from, if I'm being honest.
Well, we meet in a few days' time. I'll tell you more. It must
look forward to
truly
that.
be the fated wind of the gods that has brought you to my rescue.
I believe so as well.
Sheol will live a good life with you, Arubis. I trust you will care for her well.
I have a friend for her already. His name is Misako. He's very
I
friendly.
thought you were gonna say Solomon. This is bullshit.
You're
Well-
not a wolf.
I will hope.
No, but I have a friend.
Selwyn is my friend as well.
Hi, I'm Solomon.
I'm also his friend.
Hi, this is Lizard.
Yes, Lizard Man, actually.
I want to be Arbus's friend too.
They're all
Yeah.
my friends.
A
To be honest.
Leshy.
Yes, he is a Leshy.
An interesting sort you bring in tow with you, Arubis. A Leshy, some believe the will of nature itself. A Leshy, trusted
Passive.
your consort. And this strange clown and strong man. Wonder if there's more to them as well.
I think there is.
Galenor, I'd like to go to my quarters now. And he's still got his arm slung up, being supported by Galenor, and he nods. Of course, Master Humdeal. And then he just, Galenor just nods a couple times. Very well then. And kind of walks past you, slowly sort of helping Reginald out of the chamber.
Cool. Well, I'm super surprised that he was alive. So, wow. Good job. He did a great job on staying alive. Really
We
did not expect that at all.
did a good job. You should be proud of yourself, Lizard Man.
I mean, I also stayed alive, so I feel like that's great. Actually, we done all a great job for staying alive, except for someone.
He's very alive.
Yeah. I'm still angry at you, Zig.
What I do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like kissing you, and I don't want to have to do it again. You
Yes,
did
you
not
say
make
you
me
don't
kiss
like
again.
this, and yes, you do it, and say you want to do it more. I think you like this very much. It's okay.
Don't
I know,
make
Judge.
me kiss you again. Besides, why aren't you dancing with this scarf? I thought you had the scarf for the whole reason to dance.
Shh, dance. Shh.
You're supposed to dance with the scarf. That's the whole point of the scarf.
I
Why are
don't
you
dance.
embarrassed to dance? Are you embarrassed to
I don't.
dance? Is
Zerg
it
does
normal?
not dance.
I mean, you seem pretty embarrassed. Maybe you're shy. Are you shy now?
Shut up. Let's go. I'm hungry. Let's go eat something.
Oh, I reach
That
into my
hasn't
bag and
insulted.
give Zerg a treat. Give him a sweet.
Hey,
I have been saving
the
just for him.
Jam pastries.
Yes,
excuse me.
The
I'd
you
like
did
this.
good, Zerg.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. Yes, good.
Mr. Batsky, I'm not keeping track, but you owe me 2 now.
And from down the hall, you hear, "By the gods!" And you
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
you see
we
them at
found
the
her.
door, at the door to the the room that you slept in, with the huge, massive piles of gore and death inside the doorway.
Ah,
Reginald kind of shakes
Ah!
his head. This
better use a different room.
This too shall pass. I think I'll take one of the guest chambers for now, Galenor. And
Take one of the
Galenor
fancy ones
gagging a
in the
bit.
south.
Of course, Master Hounddale. Oh,
Um,
and he just
I walk-
glares at the group of you through the doorway,
I,
across the entryway as he turns and takes Reginald south into the larger bedrooms.
2 days. I'll see you in 2 days.
I promise you, they all attack first. I think.
Probably.
Did we ever attack first? I don't think we did.
no.
I don't
didn't
think we
let
did.
them keep the flyer. Did you? Like, you got that back? Because we
No,
only
no,
have
no. We have enough flyers. The whole point about flyers is that you give them out and you don't have to get them back.
So that
But
one
why
was a
would
bit
you
bloody.
give?
I step up behind Lizard and give Lizard a treat.
Can you imagine if
Plant, you are the best plant.
if this
Good
place
job,
gets
Plant.
re-sanctified and they have this flyer here for all eternity, then when we come back, there's going to be a massive gathering of druids.
Hey,
to-
hey Lizard.
Yeah?
You think you can carry me back?
I surely can. Anything for a treat? I'm gonna pick him up and put him on my shoulder.
Like a sack of potatoes.
You're
And so
great.
the group of you head back up to the northern wing, where Sheol, the wolf, is still waiting, laying down, kind of curled up by the gate that you had closed. The wolf still seems more than happy to follow with you. And as
Yay.
you open the gateway, she immediately gets up and walks forth out, once again sticking her nose up against Arbus's knees.
Aw.
Hello there,
Head
She-Hulk.
kind of down, tail kind of down.
You come with me now. I'll take you home.
Wolf huffs, seemingly more than willing to follow.
Woof, woof, little buddy. Woof, woof.
Such a good
And
dog.
so, we leave the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning.
Do
And
we
all
see
of
any
its...
dead bodies washing up on the side from a certain mayor?
As you
Raked
open,
up against
Oh,
the
no!
cliff.
as you open the doors to the cliffside outside, which I realized last time I forgot to turn on the sound effects for you guys, so you can hear my super sick cliffside sound set originally. There's actually no sign of anything. All of the bodies you left here even seem to be gone.
That was the point, wasn't it?
And the mist of the winds and the waves have washed away what was left. Even the massive frog creatures seem to have taken their leave for now, headed out to elsewhere. And the area looks a little barren. And as you walk over towards the edge, to peek and see, you can see the battered and dead body of Mayor David Holden slamming against the rocks. You can almost hear his. Well, that's what I want to go look for.
Oh, I thought you said it was down there.
No, went to go look.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Lizard man, you swear, you can almost still hear his voice in the distance. Oh! Oh, thank Abadar! Thought I was going to be trapped here for weeks! You're alive! You've returned! Fantastic! This is great news! And you see Mayor David Holden, hatless, quickly scampering out of the shed on the northern side of the cliff. You were right. I was wrong. Very much so. Was unaware of the state of the cliffside passage. No way an old man like me can get across that alone. By
Okay.
Abadar's golden scales. He looks at Zerg, barely alive as he is. What happened?
I tried to cook something. It didn't go so good.
It was a long, yeah.
Zerg's not a good cook.
He really isn't.
So that one's
We-
okay.
We
She
need to
really
get
is.
back to Aberton. Is Reginald all right? Did you find him?
Yes, actually, he's fine.
What
Outside
spectacular news
his-
for everyone.
Well, outside his life's work being demolished, but yeah.
He's alive, he's fine.
I
I'll
think
hold
given
out
the
my
state
hand
of
to
things in
Zelwyn.
the Hermitage as I found it, I figure he'd at least be more than happy with alive. Sure, the rebuilding of the Hermitage will be a fair amount of work, but there's more to life than, well, simple religion. I suppose not to him. I always tried to understand, but never really could. You know, it's a connection he has. Still, can you help me get back to town? Can you help me across the gap?
Of
The
course.
priest in the church. Drend will tend to you. Drend's fantastic. He's magics.
Also, where'd you put his head?
Also, what
I know
happened to
you
you?
can
Sorry, my manners have left me. And it is staring at Selwyn's face.
What's wrong with your thing?
What?
Long story.
I don't
was
even know if I
hit
rightly
by...
want to know at this point.
No, I was hit by a record demon. I guess it really wasn't that long of a story.
That's as short as you are.
A demon in the Hermitage? Impossible. I just want to get home.
There's multiple.
A warm bed, a warm meal, out of this cliffside, in this damned Hermitage. That's all I need for now. Please, can you help me?
And Hermitage is right. Yeah, of course.
It is beautiful out here. Why would you want to be in such a hurry to leave?
It's cold and wet and windy, and I've been here for days. I've been in this shed for at least 2. I didn't think you were going to come back out. I was about to head back inside and try my chances with the druids again. At least they fed me.
I hand him a sweet.
Pull these powdered sugar jelly donuts out of your bag. Just takes it.
If I could be smiling, that's what would be happening right now, but
You're an odd group, but I'm not going to question Providence for gifts. And just eats the whole thing in what looks like 2 massive bites.
So how exactly are we gonna get across this?
So heading back,
Good job.
due to the difference in heights here, as the water has continued to work, the waves racking up through the cliffside here, it looks like it would be at least a bit easier to head back than it was to get here. It's still going to be difficult. It's still going to require you to either try to jump the gap or climb against the cliff face. But at this point, you're a good deal stronger, readied. You've got plenty of supplies. And a great motivation, I'm sure, of getting the hell out of the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning, literally forever.
Yep.
never coming back.
Not even once.
Arvis
So-
can't beg or plead enough.
The group of you are going to be traveling for some time, really, to get all the way back out to Aberton. It's going to take you the better part of the rest of the day, probably stopping to make camp at least once throughout the afternoon. As you get back just barely at around sundown. Fortunately, as the Hermitage is out to the northwest, your circus camp is going to be the first thing you pass on your journey back. And as you finally arrive back, sunset before you, Mayor's Rend, well, all right, no, there's a way I can probably thank you for this one. You've not only, well, Aberton's still standing. I imagine I have you to thank for that as well.
Yes, actually, we did everything you asked us to.
Things have gone, well, quite south in the past few weeks, and, well, were
Yeah.
it not for your circus coming to town, I don't know for certain if we'd all be here. Most of all, me. I owe you a debt.
Buddy.
A debt of thanks, and one I very much intend to repay. Not right now, though. I need to get home. I need to get back to my wife and my bed. But
Same. Except
I'll
the wife
return.
bit.
Tomorrow morning, I owe you. Selwyn, the rest of you, truly, Aberton's in your debt. And I mean that. This is your home, as far as I'm concerned. I know you're travelers, you've the circus, and your life's the road, but you're Abertonians. I'm sure as far as anyone here would look to question. In fact, you know what? That's a great idea. I'll organize a ceremony. A couple days from now. Give me some time to put things together. We'll call the whole town together. Declare it right and proper.
Ceremony.
A ceremony, a gathering.
Party.
Like a ritual.
We
Well,
could, if we were really thinking big, we could have the ceremony right at the end of the circus. And
You're doing it at a
everybody could
circus?
Just... What?
Yes.
Yes.
We gave you a flyer.
flyer. Yeah. Remember the
Ah,
flyer?
you did.
Oh, do
Ooh,
we need
I'm-
another flyer?
I'm
I've
gonna
got
be
another
honest.
one. Here, 1 second.
The vast majority of that whole day is largely a blur to me.
Just
Don't worry about it. We have another one.
And he
I'll
takes the
grab
flyer
another
from
one.
you. Yes, of course. Just a few days from now, isn't it? I've largely
It is,
lost
yeah.
track of time, but that can't be too far in the future.
Yeah, so if we
Ugh.
have a meeting at the circus, and at the end of the circus we can do a little ceremony and whatnot, but everyone will be at the circus.
Oh, well,
That could
certainly.
be fun.
Absolutely. Well, sounds a fine enough time as any. I'll bring honors to the circus at the circus, as it should be. Right. And he shakes this flyer. So, I'll go home, figure out what day it is, get some sleep, get caught back up, and come back here on the 4th of Farast.
Perfect.
Wow. What a week. What
Indeed.
a month. glad it's over with, at least. Well, hopefully. Surely it's for rest by now. I'm not sure. Again, I'll figure out what day it is. And you, he looks at Zerg very specifically, you lot. I'll fetch the cleric. I'll call Joseph up. He'll see what he can do.
It's all right. No. It's all right.
No, I insist.
I insist you don't.
Well?
He had the same thing.
The same thing. What's happened in the bloody church? I don't want to know. You know what? I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I think I've had enough
Church
for the
burned
last
down.
few days. I'd like to sleep now. If you're fine with this, then so be it. What is that you circus folk always say? He kind of shakes the fire. The show must go on.
Quite.
I have never said that once in my life.
Roll credits.
And so, too, must life in this good town. I hope we can all rest well this evening. And again, thank you. Not just on my behalf, but of all of Aberton. Gods, I'm tired.
I think
Very
we
well.
all are.
Raises a hand. I'll be retiring then.
Neat.
Sighs and turns and just looks at Aberton. A good 100 yards away. Sighs again. More walking. And starts trudging back in towards town.
Take care, Maya Holden.
As we give you a turn back away from him towards the camp, you're presented with Ulva standing right there, just sort of glaring towards Zerg. And her gaze turns immediately to Selwyn. What has happened to him?
Well, he got stabbed a bunch of times. No big deal.
I think he got struck by lightning and like fire and got bit
Acid
by
was
a
on his
lizard.
skin. Had acid
Yeah.
burns.
And then there was
It's
been rough.
squirrels.
Zerg, I thought your friends were supposed to take care of you.
So
he
did
was-
I.
He's not
he's
dead.
stick-headed.
Emphasize my cooking.
No, he was.
I gave
you
him
know, he was
treats.
taking care of us. Yeah, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Zig.
It's true. Zerg save us all today.
Well, I do my best.
Just don't let him cook.
And it's
Yep,
a fantastic cook
Just
too.
looking him up
Like,
and down.
Horrible.
It looks like he
Really
jumped
good.
in front of every sword in the Starstone Isles for the group of you.
It feels
yep,
like it too.
all of them.
Lizard took a few of those, didn't he?
Nope, none of them.
Someone did.
Nope,
No.
I am sure it was mostly all Zig the whole time.
And I got hit a few times too.
That was just because you tripped.
Zerg was excellent at taking blows for us.
Yeah, and he like really dealt some damage.
I think I need a drink. You want to go get a drink?
I do not think you need a drink. I think you need a rest and better bandaging. Who put these on?
You should probably check those bandages for him.
Look, Zerg, come back. Arabis, you not the medicine type. This is not something you could fix. You could not tend to him.
It's been a very long day. I did the best I could.
He did okay. He tries best. Zerg is hard to fix when he gets hurt so bad. He's not good at strong people. He's good at fixing plants and things.
He is saying,
Jeez,
among my
sorry.
faith, see to
Long
your
day.
own wounds first, Zerg. You cannot protect your friends if you cannot protect yourself. Callistrian wisdom. Now come.
I like this.
I'm surprised you can walk. Come, follow me.
Okay.
At this point, as you return, the beginnings of putting the tent up have been in order. The canvas is brought out and around, with ropes and pegs in the ground drawn across it to hold it not from blowing away. Not putting it up quite yet, because you want to minimize the amount of time the tent is up. But the large various canvases have been unloaded from their wagons, spread around the campground, ready to stand the big top tall over the next 2 days. And as the group of you go to rest tonight, finally closing the book on this chapter of your adventures, finally coming to the end of the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning, having saved Reginald Hamdeal. We got a goddamn circus we gotta prepare for. We got 2 days, people! You gotta get practiced, you gotta get healed, you gotta get less dead, you gotta figure out what you're doing. Next week, when we come back, the show must go on! And what a show it is certain to be, honestly. With how far you've come, how much you've done in the past few weeks, how much you've learned. Now, 4th level characters in the group of you.
Yeah.
With an evening to reflect upon your adventures, to dwell on your experiences. You will awaken in the morning that much more powerful. And, you know, these kind of increased skills and abilities could lend themselves to the show pretty well, don't you think?
Yep.
The 4th level, a lot has happened, possibly to inspire the group of you as you've fought, journeyed, and worked to save Aberton. It's giving you a lot of ideas. So to think about that before we come back next week to put on our show, each of you can now have a second skill tied to your trick. You can have a second trick check. Keeping in mind that variety is the spice of life, and that if you make a check with 2 different attributes during your act, you will generate an automatic amount of excitement. Equal, I believe it was to a quarter of the trick's level. Still 1 for now, but 1 free excitement is 1 free excitement. So think about how you're going to roll a second skill into your acts. Think about how you are going to raise the bar a bit with your 4th level tricks, keeping in mind that there is still a long road ahead of you. And next week, it comes full circle back to the circus. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Thank you, chat, for being here. Against all odds, even without my house rule, Zerg fucking barely managing to survive the final encounter in the Hermitage of Blessed Lightning.
Did he die?
Did he die,
Zerg
though?
is unkillable.
Zerg does at this
Never
point
say that.
appear to be completely unkillable.
As long as he has his 2 battery packs with him, he's good.
Good night,
Pretty close.
everybody. We'll see you next week.